We are back in the house yet again. Couple weeks removed since we didn't do one last week, but welcome back, everybody. Great to be back with everybody here and drink some beers and have some fun, hopefully. So, welcome back to everybody watching out there. And, Birmingham for work, so that's why I wasn't here. And Todd actually had something come up too, so it kind of worked out well where both of us were able to jump out and not feel bad about it, so to speak. Except for not seeing you fabulous people out there in the YouTube world. So yeah, we always miss you guys. We don't get to see you, but welcome back, everyone. Glad you are definitely here, and we'll have a guest on here tonight. I'm going to get Eric in from Muser Whiskey Reviews to join us here in a bit. But how is your week going, Todd? And how's everything out there? And shout out to Vanessa in the house as well.
How's it going, Vanessa? Yeah, it's going all right. Back to the full week's worth of work, I guess, for the first time in a couple weeks, I guess, with the holidays.
Yeah.
So kind of just easing back into, but then like we were talking before we come on air, we were off on Monday for Martin Luther King Day. So.
Right. So no work on Monday. Yeah.
Ease in and break it up a little bit.
Get that first week of work and you're like, woo, I need a break.
5 days. Who wants to do that?
But technically, I guess the second work week. For me, it feels like the first one because I only worked like on that Tuesday last week. I mean, technically, I worked because I was at a conference from Wednesday through Friday, but went to meetings,
not work.
meetings, eat, drink, be merry, all that kind of stuff. So this week was my first full week, but yeah, already taking breaks next week though, so I'm okay with that. So that works out well. And
while you were down there, did you bring any beers back with you?
No, did not get to go anywhere. I mean, we were in meetings from morning to pretty much night. And then, once we got out of the last meetings, it was like you got a half-hour break or so. And then you had the cocktail receptions and then you had the dinner. Right. And then after the dinner, there was the after bar. And it was just like, I drank a good amount. Well, I say I didn't get crazy or anything like that, but I had a pretty good fill. And so like the last Thursday night before we left, it was just like, kind of skipped the bar that night because I was like, I'm not working out. I'll probably eat stuff too. Like one of our dinners, we had shrimp and grits and and this was down in Birmingham, Alabama too. So, if you're going to have it somewhere, that's the place to have it. They had some pulled pork barbecue, some chicken barbecue. They had like, what else did they have with the shrimp and grits? Some of the, andouille sausage and stuff, and it was all goodness for the most part. So I had a little portion control there since I wasn't working out and stuff. And then the last night we had some pretty good fish, and I think it was a piece of maybe roughy, and then a steak with it, like a nice cut, like fillet type with it and some stuff. So yeah, it was one of those plates though they give you, and it's kind of like it looks pretty, but it's like me and the guy next to me, we were talking. It's like it looks good, but ain't no damn food on it. Ain't no food on it. Right. It's like you're paying for it. Yeah. I'm not even at a museum. I'm not here to buy the picture. I'm here to eat. Nothing worse going to when you go to a restaurant and you're like, I got to stop at Taco Bell on the way home. I'm still hungry. You just shelled out a couple $100. Yeah, and I'm still hungry. Can you believe that shit? Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but no, it was all good and great time. And luckily, I flew last Wednesday and not this Wednesday, since everything was kind of grounded with the whole FAA debacle. And they still, I don't think, came out with a reason. They kind of said, "Oh, it was a computer."
You're right.
Yeah, sure it was. Yeah. I was like. I'm going to say there was probably a hack, but that's just my thing, that somebody was in there screwing around. Either that or somebody spilled coffee down in the wrong back of the system, shorted everything out. That guy's fired. Yeah. But yeah. Oh my God. If people had it, that's one of those things though. It's kind of like you're pissed, but if you can't land, why would you go in the air? Right. It's kind of like,
I know. Yeah.
It's kind of like you want to be pissed at something, but it's kind of like, what are you going to do? So
they kind of stuck at that point.
Yeah. But I saw some people were stuck on the tarmac for like 3 hours. anytime anybody that's flown just knows to get stuck on the tarmac is like one of the worst things ever. Especially if you got there a little longer than like 20 or something minutes when they cut the air off on it, because it gets hot pretty quick on those planes. You know, we got like a full plane. So yeah. But
I probably start bringing back flashbacks for you there, didn't
there wasn't. I mean, it would have been if I would have been on like. The funny thing is, when I went down last week, I flew Southwest, and I had no issues with my Southwest flights. But everybody else that was flying like American or Delta, they started having issues, or like United, like things were getting delayed. I'm like, who'd have thought I would have been the one okay, flying Southwest? But
I don't think I've ever really had a problem, going Southwest.
I haven't. I just don't like you don't get your seat until you get to the plane. That's like
yeah. But,
which going down, I had to fly to Tampa and then over from Tampa to Birmingham when I went down. Coming back at a straight shot, and it was like I ended up getting in, and I paid to get the early boarding, paid up for that, and got the seat. And then people were coming in, they're going by. It's like, oh, it looks like we might be good here. Second to last person, someone's like, is anybody sitting in the middle seat? No, like, so can I sit there? I'm like, oh yeah, sure. Like, almost made it. Like the second, but then at that point, you're like, why go to the back end if you're going to be in the middle anyway? You might as well stop at the front. So it's kind of like,
right.
I should have went back a couple more rows because the people behind me, they didn't have anybody in their middle seats. It was too late. So, but it was good. It was no big deal, no big problem. But
should have made up a story or something. Just
They got to the second leg and the plane was almost full, and we had a guy sitting in between me and another dude that was there, and it was just like, this guy wasn't the smaller the dude. He wasn't a huge dude, but he was definitely enough that it was kind of like, you have to lean forward or lean all the way back because you're getting squeezed. Like, you're in the middle. Just don't even think you're getting one of these arms, son. You're not getting either of these arms. Like, you got in with your little GD, whatever group you were in. You weren't in A because I didn't see you, so you weren't in our group. So now but it was all good. But coming back, there was nobody in the middle, so coming back it was nice. We were able to stretch out. We had like a probably 75% full plane, and people were stretching out a little bit. So, but no, Southwest was cool, and like I said, I lucked out where it wasn't one of the worst things to fly last week. So this week, if you flew, you were screwed no matter who you went with the FAA shutting it down. Yeah, at least for a while on Wednesday morning. And then we got Eric here to join us tonight, our special guest, Malt Muser Whiskey. What's going on, man? Look at this guy. Look at all his whiskey that he keeps. He lives in a liquor store.
I should have put a bunch of beer behind me, man. Thanks for the outreach. I think we talked briefly just before the new year, and so cool to join. And I've been watching your channel for a long time and really enjoy it. And Todd, great to meet you. You guys are
you too.
Good live stream to watch here on Thursdays, man. So happy to join. I did pour a beer.
Appreciate you.
I'm not going to sit here and evangelize whiskey the whole time, I promise. So, got a nice beer here in the glass. Great.
Look at you, proper glassware and everything there. Look at you, you learned it. Is that a Hop Butcher glass? It is a Hop Butcher glass.
What would it be?
I went to the Hop Butcher. So Hop Butcher. So for folks who know, I live in Chicago, and so Hop Butcher. They were been out in the suburbs most of the time, and they just opened a new tap room / kind of their new headquarters in the city proper, which it's not far from me. So I went to their grand opening, and they got a whole bunch of stuff there. Their theme is to do what do you call it? Like kind of innovative, trying new stuff. So you can go there and taste a bunch of their trial beers. But I did get down to Binny's this week and got some of their new fresh cans. So I'm going to enjoy it with you, man. Great to see you.
Nice. Well, they are definitely on my plans when I get back to Chicago again at some point to check out their spot. So, and
yeah, you dig it, man. It's great.
Yeah.
Isn't there a pretty big brewery in? Did you say Proper?
Pardon me?
Did you say Proper? Like Proper, Illinois?
Yeah, Chicago. Yeah.
Isn't there like a big brewery right there in that town or whatever?
There's.
Well, I know in Chicago, like there's a bunch or whatever.
Goose Island is probably the biggest one in the
Well,
city.
I mean, like I thought I saw it on a can, like proper Illinois or whatever, which I thought you said. Maybe I missed.
Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about
okay.
that. Yeah, I mean, Goose is probably the biggest one in the city, but
Right, yeah. Well,
yeah,
I know a bunch of the breweries up there, but
yeah, the craft scene is really where it's at in Chicago. How are you guys' New Year's going?
Good. How about you? What's happening in your world?
Can't complain, man. We've had little to no snow. It's been mild for Chicago.
That's weird for you guys, right? Like everybody else across the country is getting shit, and you're like, "What's the problem out there? We're good."
30s and 40s, man. It's been like, I almost want to put shorts on.
30s and 40s in Chicago in January is a win, no matter what. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Where are you coming from? I know, Rod, you're down in Baltimore now, right?
Yeah, I'm in Baltimore now, so.
Todd,
I'm in southern Indiana. I'm like, our exit's 7, so we're like 7 miles north of Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay, so you're not super far.
So we're not working on Louisville. So yeah.
Todd was about 90 minutes from where I used to live there in Cincinnati. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. We get some salutations here. Cheers to Gilbert in the house with the big cheers, fools. Vanessa said hello as well to Gilbert and to us too. Cheers, Vanessa. And yeah, andouille, baby. It was andouille sausage. I forgot what it was with, but yeah, it was like this southern type thing they put together for the different dishes, and it was pretty good. Although when I was down there for one of the desserts, they actually had cannolis, and I'm like, being a Jersey guy, I never thought I'd come to Alabama and see a cannoli on the table. I don't know. And it said gluten-free. There's nothing gluten-free about a cannoli in New Jersey. So it was like, what are you guys trying to do down here?
Right, like, yeah.
Yeah. I tried it. It was like, probably should have passed. But hey, it is what it is. Vanessa made pea soup today. I haven't had split pea soup in a long time. That's not a bad one for the winter, though. She's up there in Connecticut, so it's definitely cold. So that's some good comfort food.
Real talk.
Went to the restaurant the night before Chappelle, and I was like, where's the fish? Love pea soup with the ham hock. Oh, yeah. Then we got JT in the house, also up in Chi-Town. What is up, James? Cheers, my friend.
JT, what's up, man? Cheers.
We've got Eric on here. So little whiskey guy there around the corner from you as well. I brought a bunch of ham hocks on sale, but the pea soup had diced ham I cooked. Okay.
That's the way to do it.
Dan's in the house. Here's everyone I was just chatting with. Monk Moves are offline, and he invited me. Well, appreciate you coming over. Welcome.
My boy, what's up, man?
What the hell? Mick T, rest in peace. Lisa Marie Presley. Did she die today?
Well,
I heard she had a health issue, some type of bad thing, but
really?
Cardiac arrest.
Wasn't she just on the Golden Globes with Priscilla like 2 nights ago? When the guy won for Elvis, he was thanking. I know Priscilla was there. I thought she was there too. Maybe not. Maybe it was another person.
Well, I think it just happened today. I thought she went into like intensive care or something. I don't remember what it was, but
wow, that's crazy.
Good start to the year, I guess. Right? Jeez.
2023, Jeff Beck just died. So it's just like, yeah. It was like, can we get a breather in here for like a week or two? Like, how the hell is Carrot Top still walking around? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, man. Carrot Top's going to be live to be like 120.
Yeah, probably. He's getting jacked up. I'm like, what Royce is he on right now? So,
yeah, man. He's scary.
Yeah,
scary. Nobody's gonna make fun of him now.
Yeah. No. Who's the ginger now, huh? Yeah. Whiskey with beer, you always do, and nothing wrong with that at all.
All right, Gilbert.
About to grab local brewery's 9th and Aoco. Is it Aoco Brewery's 9th any IPA? After I finish the Glen Ross, he says. Priorities.
There you go, Daniel.
You could barely hear Todd. I can hear you coming through. Yeah, you come through fine on my end.
Yes, okay.
Anybody else that can't hear Todd, let us know. Vanessa, cheers from Mick. Mark's in the house. Cheers, Mark. Evening, my friend. Blake's in the house. Cheers, Blake.
Blake.
Joe's in the house. What's up,
Yeah.
Joe? Little to no snow. That is sounds like a good time. Cheers, everyone. Cheers to you, and hopefully you're surviving up there in Buffalo. I think Chicago sent everything to Buffalo this past season. Anything they could possibly get, they just mailed to Buffalo.
except our losing football record.
Yeah. Bills are like, do not return to sender. Do not accept that package.
I mean, full disclosure, I live in Chicago, but I am from Milwaukee. So I'm a born and raised Packers fan. So, I fly the green and gold parts. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Hasn't been a great time for me either. But
well, Joe's actually a Seahawks fan, so he's happy because it's Seahawks.
Oh, yeah, you're very welcome, Joe.
Yeah. I think the Lions will get some gifts this season, so yeah.
Yeah.
And Julie sausage in Louisiana? Not in Louisiana. I was over in Alabama, but they would have it down in Louisiana. They probably got it shipped in from over Louisiana. Get down to New Orleans and get some jambalaya. You would definitely have some. I haven't been to New Orleans in years. I need to go again at some point.
I've never been. That's one place I do want to try to get to.
Yeah.
Worth it. It's definitely worth it. The culture, the food, and the scene is just
the atmosphere, the people.
Yeah. It's a unique thing. You may never go back again. It might not be your jam, but you gotta do it for no other reason than to just. I mean, the history there is so unique. The food is fantastic. And, you can get in all the trouble you want in New Orleans, man.
New Orleans and Vegas. Yeah. Right now, I'm actually letting my beer warm up. So I'm actually enjoying a little Black Strat rum from cruising right now. So this is what I'm actually drinking at this point.
Getting down to the bottom there.
About to crack open. Yeah. Like to enjoy it. I got a little rum thing going lately, so
I in honor of the joining your beer stream, I of course go in Chicago. I got one from the Butch. This is the Blizzard of '67. This is a Citra, Mosaic, and Eldorado. Citra, Mosaic, Eldorado, and Equinaut hopped triple IPA. So,
nice.
Very Butch, very, very hot butcher.
What you know about Louisiana? I know it's good. I know I've had it numerous times when I've been down in New Orleans. I pretty much always get jambalaya, and that's what they're using. But tasty indeed. And some of the, now because of the way the country is, you get some southern restaurants in different places too. But it's nothing like being down in the culture and actually enjoying it. So. Cheers, Joe. Cheers, Mick. R.I.P. Lisa Marie. Yeah, I didn't even see anything about that. Cheers, Blake. We got Dee Dee in the house. Cheers, homie. What up, Rajay? Hi, Todd and Guess. And Dee Dee's in. He's getting it in early before I know what time you got to get up tomorrow for your tea time. Dee Dee plays golf every Friday. At least he was. I don't know if you're playing tomorrow because you guys are going to be getting that storm coming through. So that is just kind of how crazy this weather has been. So right now, I don't know if you guys saw earlier today, you got this storm coming up from Louisiana, Alabama, and heading up through Georgia and the Carolinas, and it released tornadoes earlier today down in Alabama.
Jesus.
And it's just what the hell? These weather it's like, what was that movie when the thing froze over and
the Day After Tomorrow?
Day After Tomorrow. Yeah. and Randy Quaid's I can make the walk to New York. You're in fucking DC. It's fucking 20-something, 30 below outside. How are you going to walk that far?
Let me tell you ain't walking to New York.
Dennis Quaid, not Randy. Randy Quaid's Lost in the Woods. It's Dennis Quaid. That was bad.
Yeah. We got hammered with rain this morning. I couldn't hardly see you to drive to work. So coming down so hard, it was nuts.
Yeah, it's just crazy. These different patterns and stuff is coming, and we're supposed to have it died before we get it on Friday, but I was just telling EB and Erie and be careful tomorrow because it's supposed to be coming through. And it's already unleashed, like I said, tornadoes down there. So
let me ask you something, Rob. So I used to live in DC for a couple of years, and as a Midwesterner, it was always it's funny. The word I don't want to say funny, but it was noticeable how once you got a quarter inch of snow in the forecast. I get that email at 3:00 in the afternoon, don't come to work tomorrow. They shut that shit down.
Oh yeah.
Is it similar like that in Baltimore? I only visited Baltimore, but are they pretty skittish on the weather stuff too?
We haven't had any snow since I've been back here yet, so we'll see what happens if it does anything really this year. But growing up in New Jersey, I mean, we would have snow out there to be a couple inches, and people would still go. I grew up in New Jersey.
Yeah, where did you grow up in Jersey?
Oh, where I grew up, Burlington, across from Philly. I didn't even talk about that because you were in Philly.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
So it was kind of like, growing up there, you went to work or whatever, you drudged through it and stuff. But
yeah,
DC might be a little more. I don't know if they're a little more skittish. I thought they would actually go through okay, but maybe not.
Man, I was there for 3 years, and let me tell you, the second there was anything even approaching the snow of any accumulation, they shut that shit down. It ain't like it is here, in Milwaukee, or here in Chicago. It's like 4 inches, man. You're driving, bro.
People are soft nowadays. It's just like, oh, we think we're getting snow tomorrow. School's closed. Wait a minute, you think you're closing it? You think we're getting it, so you're closing it. Like, we had to wait till it actually hit, and then we had to see how bad it was going to be. Well,
Yeah, I mean, they just don't have the infrastructure. I mean, like, in Chicago, it's like, the city budget plans for overtime for snow plowing. There's snowplow truck lots everywhere. I mean, you don't find those in DC. They just hedge their bets, I guess. I don't know.
Well, with DC, like when you go through there, some of the old streets are so skinny and everything. It's tough to get stuff through there too. So it might be for a safety type reason.
Philadelphia too, man. Jesus.
Yeah.
Freaking people live in alleys. I mean, the streets are so narrow.
I'm trying to get the snow over here. Get out the way. Oh, I gotta love the Philly attitudes that you see from time to time.
Bro, I got stories, and I was only there for 2 years, and half of that was COVID lockdown, and I got a whole backpack full of stories of crazy Philly.
Oh, I like when people first go to order like a cheesesteak at one of the places, and they're asking about the cheese. Like, you want that wit? And they're like, what? You want that wit? What? You want that
wit, man?
What is wrong with this dude over here? Somebody's got to translate it for him. Oh, yeah, please. I'll have that. Thank you.
Yeah, what language you speak?
Like, get this guy out of here. Oh, man. Hey, Blake and Daniel. Cheers to the groove from Dee and JT trying to stay on top of the comments. Vanessa. I love the people that watch the crew that comes in because they're always so cordial. They're always saying hi to everybody. Everybody's, Nowadays, you walk around, people don't say anything. They just walk right by, head down, or stuck in the phone or like that and everything. It used to be, people would communicate.
Baltimore? Are people rude in Baltimore? You find Baltimore to be kind of a rude city? I'm curious.
I wouldn't say they were just rude. I just think everybody's in their bubble. Like, if you were to stop and ask somebody something, they would answer and be fine. But, like, when you, like, in Kentucky where I was, or Cincinnati, if you were walking down there and you made eye contact with someone, somebody's usually like, hey, what's up, or something like that and everything here. So it's just a different type thing.
I'll make this brief, but like, when I lived in DC, it was kind of a head down thing. Philly, everybody was rude. Nobody said shit to anybody. Mm-hmm. Chicago is like, if you say something to somebody, you better be prepared to stop whatever you're doing and have a conversation. People are so nice. As growing up in Milwaukee, it was like when I moved back here, I'm like, I came from Philly, and I'm like, this city's like 4 times as big as Philly. Like, people are gonna be rude as shit. I was in line at Walgreens like the first day I was here. There's this young girl working there. She just immediately just starts jabbering at me about the weather, and I'm like, I'm back in the Midwest. That's right. These people in Chicago are way too nice, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, what I do professionally, I'm on the phone and I call different parts of the country on stuff that we work in the financial industry, and sometimes people just get confused when you're new to it because there's the different regions do have different ways you have to talk to them. And like some of our people, they were always like, they just fretted to call New York on anything. Like, they say, I was like, well, just if they give you shit, then give shit back to them and respect you for it. And they just couldn't get it because they were out in the Midwest. They didn't understand it and stuff. But we had a couple people that took it over and they did it. And people started loving them when they would do stuff. And it's like, you just got to, you got to learn the territory and then you react to it and stuff. But I'd have people in the deep South and they would go in with stories and, you just call them up about something like, oh, yeah, I know a guy that had blah, blah, blah. So you know what happened to him, blah, 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 blah. And it was just like, I don't have time for all that right now.
Let's go.
Yeah.
When I worked in sales, they had territory, like some of my main territories, like New York and Boston area. Then I also had some in Chicago. So it was definitely like You're right. Like you had to know who you were talking to and what to expect out of different
Dude.
regions of the country.
Yeah.
You know?
Todd, you nailed it, man. I mean, like it's surprising. For a city that's as diverse and as, I don't know, worldly, for lack of a better word, as Chicago is, like, you just assume people are going to be kind of standoffish and rude. And somehow, despite all that Midwest nice, sensibility, man, dude, everybody wants to you just be like, man, people are way too nice. Chicago gets a weird rap sometimes, I think, in part of the media, but man, the people here are so nice.
Yeah. No, I always enjoyed when I went to Chicago and stuff, and it was always nice getting around. And people are always they were pretty conversational, and definitely one of the cool cities that people should definitely visit if they can.
Most definitely.
Vanessa, damn COVID shots. Oops, U2 police just showed up. Something about saying the C word nowadays. Blake TV, cheers, DD, run fool run, right? Yeah. Local brewery. Oh, okay. I type horribly. I'm just like a cat trying to cross a room full of rocking chairs. So the beer I'm actually going to crack open here in a second, and this is one that you might want to see if you do get it out there, because I don't know if it might be one of their limited ones they just came out with. I don't know if do you guys get Flying Dog? Todd, you get Flying Dog?
Yeah.
Right. And then so this is one I actually stumbled on, and it was funny because it was in one of the local corner stores, right? I call it a corner store because it's not like your regular craft type beer. You walk in and the first thing you get hit with is like the old E and stuff like that on there and that. But they have like some craft stuff in there for people that like get lost and like, oh, okay, let me see. They got
Mad Dog
nice beer. Yeah. It's like if you move stuff to the side or whatever.
Oh, man.
So this is their new one that came out. It's the Willet Bourbon Barrel Aged Operation Breakfast Stout, 10%.
Oh, nice.
ABV. Ooh. So this is one that just came out. I can't we can do this thing here.
The can art always like their can art.
So I get a little bit more light on it. But it might be coming off the reflection because it's that light color sometimes with the camera. There you go. Yeah. So this is the one.
Just to jump in on that, man. The Flying Dog, their artwork. So the guy, I mean, I'm sure you guys probably know. So Ralph Steadman is the one who does all that. He's the guy who used to do all the art for the Hunter S. Thompson books.
Mm-hmm.
Fear and Loathing Las Vegas, all that art for their stuff. And man, they got some of the best bottle art in the game, in my opinion.
I think so.
A macro micro kind of breed. I don't know what the correct terminology is for a thing like Flying Dog. They're not macro, but they're not micro. Well,
they would be anything if you're not macro, you're micro. I mean, they just go crap. Well, I go craft brewery now, but micro is so 90s now. Eric, come on, man.
I've been out of the game, dude. I'm catching up. I don't know what the correct terminology is.
Yeah. It actually would make sense to just have it micro or macro, but yeah, they went from not saying micro to really craft, but yeah, there'll still be a micro brewery.
Sure.
So okay. I just got a beer package from Joe.
Who did?
Yesterday from Joe.
Oh, you did? All right. Joe did say he was sending you something, I think, the other day.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I sent him some stuff it was last summer, end of summer, maybe early fall. I don't remember when it was now. But anyway, he was paying me back. So I got his package yesterday of 6 beers. And this is one of them. Equilibrium.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool artwork too. I like that.
What's the story on that one?
So this one's a double IPA with vanilla and lactose, 8.7, but it doesn't have anything story-wise, so I don't know. It's version 3 or batch 3, I guess you should say.
So did Joe send you some other half in there too?
He sent me one other half.
Of course he did, because that's Joe.
A couple of Big Ditch, and I forgot what the other 2 were now.
Yeah.
He sent one. It was like I sent a piece of candy. It was like the Orange Crush Lifesaver or whatever.
Oh,
like
okay.
Sickle or whatever. Because there was a beer. He said that it was a play on that, so he sent a piece of the candy too, just to get my see what I thought of how close it come to hitting the candy.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So
there's a guy on YouTube, or maybe it's TikTok, or it might be Facebook Live. It's one of them. But he puts these things together. Like, people tell him, like, if you put these two together, it'll taste like something. He did something for a Tootsie Roll the other day. I'm trying to think what it was. It wasn't like milk and something or something. It was like a weird mix he did. And he was like, damn it if it doesn't taste like a Tootsie Roll.
And
what was it?
It was orange juice and something. Kahlua, maybe?
Orange juice and Kahlua. That's what it was. Yeah. And he's like, you cannot tell me this is going to taste like a Tootsie Roll as he's putting all stuff together. And he took a drink. He was like, damn if it doesn't taste like
orange juice and Kahlua?
Yeah.
Man, that sounds like day 5 of waking up on a Las Vegas bender, and like that's all you got left in the room.
We got left over here, right? Like,
you're like, what the hell? I'll just throw it together, see what.
Breakfast. Right?
That's not an ordinary combination anybody would come up with. It's just like, something left over, or maybe you guys are smoking weed and you're like, I wonder what this would taste like with that. It had to be one of those two to be that kind of mix. So but if anybody's looking to emulate a Tootsie Roll, try orange juice and Kahlua. Jeez. I'm not a Tootsie Roll fan, so I wouldn't do it, but that was one of my favorite Halloween candies.
No, definitely not. I mean, that's not the. If you put it in the Halloween candy category, I feel like it loses a little more of its utility value.
Tootsie Roll for me was like gym class, and if you were in gym class and you were talented, right? You pick teams, or picking a basketball team, and it's like there's 13 kids or whatever. Then the gym coach is like, pick your team, and like, oh, I got Eric. Okay, well, I got Todd, I got Rod, blah blah. And it's like you're down to the end, like there's 3 kids left or whatever, and you're like, the coach is like, all right, you go there and you 2 go there. Like, oh, we're good. They can have. That's like you can have it. Yeah, we're good.
Halloween night.
Yeah. Of course, nowadays those kids are probably running freaking Microsoft companies and all kinds of shit now too. But yeah. Luckily, I was never that kid that didn't have to worry about it. So it's usually going in the first round or 2.
You were that? Yeah. I mean, let me just say, you strike me as the kind of guy I want on my dodgeball team. I'm just you know what's up with dodgeball.
Football, basketball, kickball, lacrosse. I mean, we did it all in Jersey, and I was never in that last round of kids. Although when I first started as a kid playing football, I used to have trouble catching the ball for a bit. So I had to really teach myself how to catch a little bit. But once I got it down, I was always like pretty top pick there. So
man, that reminds me in my and
we played lacrosse in gym class back in Jersey.
One class below me, former point guard of the then New Jersey Nets / Mavericks / somebody else, Devin Harris.
Okay, nice.
Devin Harris was in the grade below me at my high school. So when there were these classes called team sports, right? And team sports was basically like a glorified gym class, where they combined a bunch of the grades together. And I could tell you, man, multiple times the team sports day would just degenerate into my gym teacher playing one-on-one basketball with Devin Harris, and just like watching Devin at like 16, we were just like, holy, like this guy.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And then he was obviously huge at for the Badgers basketball team.
Right. Oh yeah.
And that was that's the only thing I remember clearly from gym class. This is watching Devin Harris just like, what? Like, how is this guy doing this? And our gym teacher, trying to beat him in horse.
Unfortunately, gym class never turned out like Porky's. That's all I'm going to say. What were you going to say, Todd? I was wrong. I seen the movie. Gym's supposed to be like this.
You're right.
There's no backside to the girls' locker room.
Our gym teacher straight up would just make us do like jumping jacks on the side, so we're like still doing gym while he just like we all just watched him play one-on-one basketball.
Yeah. You guys run sprints.
Yeah, man, gasser. was funny.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching him play when he played at Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Man, dude.
He was fire.
I'll tell you, man. Even in high school, like everybody would just like would sit here and be like, "Dude, this guy." I mean, it was obvious.
well, you could say you knew him when, right? So yeah,
True.
yeah.
I got my ankles broken by Devin Harris. That's
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. It's on a t-shirt. Don't believe me.
Yeah, right.
Vanessa says she saw snow this morning, but then it began raining. It melted away to snow. Go Pack Go. Should have traded. I'll get to Gilbert. Gilbert from beginning of the season was wanting to get Rodgers out of there. So, yeah.
I'm a contrarian. I say no, but still love Pack.
Because he was big into Jordan Love, but we'll see if Rodgers comes back. I mean, they're going to be they're in a rebuilding mode. I don't know if they can compete. I don't know if they can compete now going forward from everything I've been hearing about them. So.
I got opinions, but I'm going to leave those aside. It's a family program.
Again, at least you're not the Bears. So yeah. Born and raised in New Orleans, feel lucky. Yeah. I said New Orleans is one of all the cities I've been in the States, New Orleans is definitely one of the top ones as far as culture and food and people. I mean, New Orleans and Chicago has spots like this too. Like if you're like in the music, like I'm huge into music and stuff, you could walk into a New Orleans bar on Bourbon Street and someone is playing and you swear to God they have a record deal somewhere. And just a local talent. And you could walk into some of the blues or jazz type clubs in Chicago and have the same thing happen. I mean, it's just such a nice ambiance about New Orleans.
I'm with you. I mean, New Orleans is such a singular experience. Like, there's no whether it's your vibe or not. Like I was saying earlier, like the combination of just like, and I've been fortunate enough to visit a lot of the major cities in the U.S. Like the history, the food, and the like music scene is just it's unique to itself in a way that I don't think can be replicated. It's not my favorite city, but it's like one of those places that I was always kind of like, I don't know if I'm all that interested. And then I went and I was like, oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, if I was like, I like to get out and kind of do some stuff, but if you were like, hey, we're in New Orleans and it's a lazy Sunday, we're just gonna go down to the bayou and throw some CCR and throw some beers back, I'd be like, I'm okay with that. Because it's just that scenery you would have and that experience would be the perfect spot for doing that down there.
For sure. It's a really it's a treasure. It really is.
Daniel said, Louisiana is great beer and food and fun. At least once we welcome everyone. So Daniel, I think, is down in New Orleans or down Louisiana.
Yeah, he's right on the borderlands between Texas and East Texas, West Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But when I went to New Orleans the first time, I found out that peel and eat shrimp means something different to them than it does for us for peel and eat shrimp. Because when we do peel and eat shrimp, the shrimp is actually peeled. It's just like the tail or whatever. Down there, it's like, no, antennas, whole shell, everything.
Heads on there, man.
You do all the work, and here's the bucket to throw the shells in. And it's like, you're not going to help me out here at all. Like, no, bro, you're on your own. You're on your own.
But, Rob, let's do it. You have access to what I think is the quintessential American food of all time, which, of course, is Maryland blue crab. And you know that's some work to eat that, but boy, is it worth it! Like there's nothing more primal than the experience of sitting on the Chesapeake ripping blue crabs apart. But my God, I used to drive out to the Bay from DC all the time to go to some of them crab houses out there, and oh man, it's the best thing ever. But boy, talk about an eating experience.
Yeah, I need to get into doing that. I haven't done it yet because I usually go to places. Now I've had crab. Don't get me wrong, but it's usually like crab cake or they got this like this. And you may have had this when you were here, the cream of crab type soup that a lot of places do. It's phenomenal.
Ooh.
Yeah,
but bro, you gotta go fresh, man.
But we went to one of our local places we found like, and this is different than like where me and Todd were. Like up there, when you say crab, you're talking about crab legs, right? You know, that's what you get. No, here they give you the whole crab. And it's just like, they'll ask you at one of our places, like, are you having crab tonight? And it's like, if you are, they put like the paper down on the table and they pretty much seat you with the bucket. They bring the crabs out and you got a mallet. And people are pop, 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 cracking open the whole shell and everything like that. So it's not just the legs. You got to put some work in it. People are sucking the claws. I mean, Dude, I don't even know. You're probably burning calories while you're eating it.
Bro, it's
work
primal, man. It is
Yeah.
it is as primal as it gets, but my God, those blue crabs.
Oh, people loved it. They love it for sure. And I'm just thinking, like, how many fights probably broke out here? Because I've seen crab leg nights have fights, so I can't imagine the whole blue crab. Like,
Yeah.
Don't go out eating blue crab after 10 o'clock because you got to have drunk mallets. That's all I'm saying.
Speaking of fights, did anybody see the Waffle House fight that was going around viral this past week or two? And like, it was like basically the customers versus the crew there at Waffle House.
That girl was killing
this chick like threw a chair, and the chick behind Waffle House was just like Matrix and like, just get it out of here. Like, I'm like, what did she just do there? Is this like a superhero movie? She just went Matrix on that chair.
Well, she wanted to fight, man. And they had to when they stopped it, she was just like, come on, bring it. I was like, man, this girl is. There was a really great tweet I saw that said like, if you've lived one day in an area that has a Waffle House, you know not to fight the white girl working. But she's there for some serious reasons.
I figured that was
good. That was
Saturday
funny,
night, at the Waffle House.
Hey, man.
Yeah. You went there Saturday night?
No, I said I figured that was just a typical Saturday.
Oh, no, this was like one of the ones I hadn't seen before where it was like, I mean, it was literally like the crowd of the customers versus the crowd. Because usually it's like one or two people fight. They're trying to break it up. Like, it was like, no, it's on. We got our team. It's like WWE just broke out. And it's just like the two coalitions going after it. And I want to see Jim Ross pop out. She's got a chair. She's got a chair.
That's a slobber knocker.
I mean, this thing was crazy. And I saw a comedian that was talking about it, and like, it was a thing on Facebook, and it was McDonald's, Popeye, and Waffle House. And like, who would win if these three fought? And it's like, I don't even know why McDonald's is even on this thing.
Right.
Because, you got Popeyes, you got Waffle House. That's a whole different type league. And it's like, my thing is, I would probably say Popeyes is what the comedian was saying. But then you got to consider, if you're a Waffle House, that's the only one that doesn't care about what the health code is, It's like, so they're going to be down and dirty on anything they do.
Plus, I think it depends on what night and what time of day it is.
Well, anything after 1 or 2 a.m., is Waffle House is going to win out for sure. So. Yeah.
What's the old saying, man? And nothing good happens after midnight,
Right. And people say, well, I went to Waffle House. I didn't really see anything. What time did you go? At 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, see, that's the problem.
Yeah.
You went 2 after midnight, not 2 in the afternoon. Everything is a facade at that time.
Truth, man.
So Daniel's on the border of Texas and Louisiana to the north. And let's see. Hey, Sam's in the house from down under. Cheers, Sam, over in Australia. Happy Friday to you now. I was stationed at Barksdale Air Force Base for about 1.5 years, Vanessa said. Hop Butcher Man Eric sent me several beer for Christmas. Yeah, Hop Butcher is solid. That's always a good beer. So I just actually did a thing on Instagram with Hop Butcher, and they actually just reached out liking what I'd done on one of their beers. You see Andouille a lot outside Louisiana, but you never see Bowdoin north of Alexandria. I'm about all the sausage. I can enjoy it all. Go to New Orleans to try Miss B's Bistro. The buffalo shrimp and pecan pie is incredible. Ate it every day I was there. Oh, I'm playing. Pecan or pecan? What do you guys prefer? I think whenever that comes up, I always like to ask.
Yeah.
Are you a pecan or pecan?
You go first, Todd.
Which one? Let me know. Do you say pecan or you say pecan?
Pecan.
Pecan. Okay. That's probably because you grew up in Philly, like I grew up in Jersey. So
I grew up in Milwaukee.
Oh wow, okay, that's right. You just moved to Philly, yeah.
I think it's pecan. I think folks say pecan around the Midwest.
Yeah.
Well, in Jersey, we were saying they said pecan, but then all of a sudden everybody was saying pecan. So it's the whole thing with apricot and apricot too.
I remember driving through Georgia once. I was driving from Atlanta to Knoxville because I had some family there. I have family in Knoxville, and man, it was like the road signs. I was talking about pecans everywhere, man. They're like, over for the fresh. It's like Wisconsin with cheese. They're pulling for the cheese here. over down there, they're like, come get your hot nuts.
Yeah.
That was in Georgia or Tennessee?
That's Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
It's everywhere.
Georgia's like the pea state, pecan and peaches.
Yo.
Speaking of Georgia, what a slobber knocker they put on TCU on
Oh,
Monday.
man.
It's just like, can we call the game? There's no run rule in college football championship. Let's just call it.
Yeah, that was.
All right, I got to get myself another beer here, gentlemen. So I'll be right back.
All right.
I got to try to find something that will be worthy of being on your live. One sec.
Yeah. He gets beer in Chicago. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
No worries there.
Dan said, yeah, winds and cold are already bare. I can hear the wind through the house here. Wow. Yeah, the weather is just crazy. Boudin pronounced Boudin. Boudin. Tomorrow's 50 and sunny in Raleigh. Oh, so you're going to go to Raleigh to play a little golf then?
JT, we got there's a kind of a small butcher shop that he's from New Orleans, so he does like Cajun style meats or whatever, and he serves like boudin balls or whatever, and they're pretty damn good.
I don't know if there's even salt trucks all through Tennessee because they have issues too when it snows. Now, where your family is out there, you probably got it because they're right on the border, Todd, right? So,
yeah, well, they're about 20 miles north of Knoxville.
Yeah, but they probably got like stuff. But when you get down to some of those other parts, I don't even know if they have trucks. They just kind of probably lock it down.
Well, yeah, probably, yeah. I'd say where they're at, they probably do because they're not real, like the town they live in is not real mountainous or whatever.
Yeah.
Going through, you do go through some or whatever, but it's not, for the most part, on the main parts. So I'd say they probably do have salt trucks and stuff. I would assume. I don't know. It's a question. I think we might be heading down there next month, so if I remember, I have to ask him.
See, Gilbert knows hot cheese whiz, son. Yeah, he knows. Gilbert's out of shared cheesesteaks. Nessa says salt trucks in Fort Worth. They used to get them on the bridges. Oh, for the bridges, yeah. Bridges do freeze before the road. Do you see those signs?
Oh yeah.
Right down DC side streets are like two linebackers passing in a tight hallway, right? That's how it is. Driving down, we ain't gonna fit. Oh, we'll fit. We ain't gonna fit. We'll fit. That's usually the conversation in the car. Oh. Her Chicago ultra nice. Chicago is very nice. Yeah, Chicago is another one.
Yeah.
Crazy city. I love going to some of the older restaurants and some of the old mob type stuff they have out, and just the history of it all around the city.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man, growing up in Milwaukee, you just like, it's like growing up in Philly talking about New York. You just inherently hate the bigger, better city. But I've moved here. I've been in Chicago for a year and a half. It's my favorite city in the U.S. by far. It's fantastic.
There's always something to do there. I mean, you got lucky this year with the weather, but I've been up there when it's been colder and stuff, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well, I mean,
that's
true. Growing up in Wisconsin, it's like you kind of find yourself like you get a little bit used to it all. You get used to the weather, and I don't know. I mean, you're never totally used to it, but you're a little bit.
But Wisconsin doesn't get as cold as Minnesota, I don't think, does it? I know it gets low. I don't know if it gets.
Depends where you are. Milwaukee's not as bad as Minneapolis, but we're talking about like, do you like -10 or -15?
You're right.
Chicago, -5.
As long as it's not North Dakota cold, I guess you're okay. When you're in a state, when you're in a state where cars need heaters to warm up or start up, you got some issues taking place.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to pour a beer from another really great Chicago brewery called Phase 3. I'm not sure if you've ever had
Oh, yeah, I've heard of Phase 3. Yeah.
Alas, I've apparently drank it all. So I'm back on the Butch, and I'm doing the
I saw that one. And
the double blazed orange. So this is Citra and Strata hopped milkshake double IPA brewed with oranges and vanilla. Not normally something I would go for because of the amount of, it's filled with fruit and all this, but my God, this was good. It is so good. I bought 3 4-packs of it, strictly on the fact that like I popped one and it was just like it's ridiculous. So I'm back on the butch.
Nice. And then saying people in Chicago are very nice when they get behind the wheel of a car and put on sports apparel. Aubrey's in the house. Cheers, Aubrey. I missed your comment there first, but Fells Point is still a nice little area. Towson as well. Towson, I go up there now if I'm going to hit Total Wine a couple times. I'll stop out there. Total Wine isn't on the top of my list for beer stores, but occasionally they'll have some stuff I can get there that I won't be able to get at some other spots.
Yeah.
Todd's mic must not be close enough. I think everybody else can hear Todd though, Vanessa. So that's the weird thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that don't make any sense. I'm not sure.
Because it's on the
no one is saying anything, I think, about it.
You're on the automatically adjust mic. You sound the same as Eric to me.
He sounds a little bit fainter than Rob does to me, but I'm not
really?
Hot, so I don't know if it's I'm not sure what it is.
I could turn them up. Say something now, Todd.
Say something now.
There you go. We'll put that up there. We'll take it off the auto adjust. Funny guy, like Joe Pesci. Okay, I have to say I support my local brewery because they make good stuff, but the 9th anniversary was not to celebrate. Why call this your celebration now? Well, somebody thought it was probably worth celebrating, but just remember, just because it says craft brewery doesn't mean it's going to always be a knockout of the ballpark either. There's definitely some out there that don't put up high quality stuff. So it's all fun in the exploration. Flying Dog. That's Hunter S. Thompson. I got to find out because of the movie around 2008. LOL. Well, there you go. Is that the thing on here? Yeah. There was something. I think they have another. They have one a 10%. It said like fruit tropical something. I ended up getting this instead, but they have a 6-pack of that's out now too. And I thought it said Hunter Thompson on there. So
no shit.
Yeah. Had any Flying Dog in years. Been buying whiskey. Nothing wrong with that, It's all variety. Buy whiskey, buy beer, buy wine, whatever comes around. We all go through stages in life,
Whatever.
Speaking of which, let me try this beer here because I do like the Willetize stouts usually. I still can't find a damn Lagunitas Willetize though, but I see people posting it, so I don't know what's going on with it. Yeah,
educate my whiskey-centric mind on what you're drinking there, Rob. So you said Will.
This is Willet. It's Willetized.
What's that mean?
Willet.
Willet, like the distillery Willet?
Yeah. Willet barrels. So it's a breakfast stout.
Okay.
So it's very smooth, very nice.
What's the brewery?
It's Flying Dog.
Oh, that's Flying Dog. Okay.
Yeah. It was the Operation Breakfast. On Operation Breakfast, the base version, I think it's like 7.5% or 8% or something like that. But this is 10% ABV, and this is the one that was Willet barrel aged. And it's got nice tones of chocolate in the back end. You get a nice sweetness there from the alcohol from the Willet. Really just hangs out in the tongue for a while. The duration of flavor is really good. So in the glass, it actually.
You say it's a stout, or is it more?
It's a stout. It's considered like a breakfast type stout.
I'm saying it was like 10%.
10%.
Let me ask you guys a question. As a so without going into
velvety smooth. Yeah.
Without going into my beer history, so when you say a breakfast stout, I mean you say it in this way. It's like, this is. I think like this is a good beer that you would have in breakfast, right? Now, when I think about those dark ass beers like a stout or a porter, my thought would be porter before stout. Stouts tend to be more, and this is just from my experience, like nutty. What's the word? Like kind of just like flavor intense. Whereas porters have struck me as being a bit more creamy, I don't want to use the word say non-offensive, but like balanced. I'm curious, like what you two as beer aficionados see is the difference between a stout and a porter, which one you like better and why?
Well, for me, I actually prefer stouts to porters. Keep in mind,
Same here.
stouts come from porters. So when it first came out, it was called a stout porter when it was initially released. And it was designed to be kind of a bigger version of the porter. But what you really got into was one uses roasted malts versus one using unroasted. Porters tend to have a little bit more of that coffee type bitter in there. And on stouts, sometimes you get a little bit more of a chocolate type feel to kind of separate them. Breweries have kind of blurred things nowadays. So now you have breweries that are making porters. We talked about this not too far back, I think, even. Like they have porters they make, and I always use like Victoria C, which is an imperial porter, and people will think it's a stout, and it's not. It's a porter. That's how close the lines are. And some of the stouts you'll get will be kind of almost a little bit of that bitterness where you'll think it might be a porter type thing when it's not either. So it's just all these different variations that brewers are just kind of screwing with there.
So the difference is kind of the roast.
It's the roasted versus unroasted malts.
And then like when people say it's a port, like they think because like my palate, I think about the porters as being a bit more, like not as deep, not as
deep, a little thinner usually.
They're a little more thin body, like they're more
what Todd said, exactly
watery. I wouldn't say watery.
Yeah.
In comparison to the two, they're definitely like thinner, more liquid.
But if you look at the Guinness draft, that's a stout, but that feels like a porter when you drink it.
100%. Because if you drink the Guinness, what's it called, the Guinness Extra Stout or whatever, which is the first quote unquote stout that I ever had. This is probably 20 years ago. I remember being like, "Holy shit, this is not." But then I had because I bought the wrong Guinness, and I bought the other Guinness, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is the Guinness I want." Right? And so, obviously, palates evolved since then, but yeah, it's always been one of these and to your point, Rob, specifically, it's like one of the things that since I moved to Chicago, I've become more I drink more beer than I really had for the last 5 or 6 years, and the stout bourbon line or stout porter line is a little bit vague, right? Because my thought of stout goes back to the kind of more bitter, intense flavored beer that I experienced 20 some years ago. And as Todd said, the porters are darker, obviously a darker beer, but it's lighter on the palate in a way that I feel this is a good winter drink. And so I bring this all up to say I'm in certain ways kind of avoiding things that say stout strictly because of an experience that sounds antiquated, right? Like what I had 20 years ago versus what they might be now because of how they're kind of, as you said, these breweries are kind of blurring the line.
Yeah, I mean, dependent. You look at stuff and when I've done tastings with people before, it's kind of what do you usually prefer? If you like that thinner type feel, kind of that coffee bitter type feel, you get a little bit of that baker's type chocolate, but it's lighter in a porter than it is a stout. But you can go a porter route that way. If you want stout, gives you a little bit more fuller of a body, a little bit more of a richer mouthfeel than what the porter would give you. ABVs, like I said, it used to be the stout porter was bigger than a porter, but now they've raised ABVs up, so you can't even tell with ABV type things. But that stout gives you a little bit of a bigger type version. Now, the problem you have is you have people like New Holland and Dragon's Milk, and they put their stouts out there and they're always making pretty much kind of like a pastry type stout or whatever. And if you're just getting into it, you're thinking all stouts are going to be like this type of way. And then when you get a traditional stout, you're like, oh, what is this? Well, that's how it's supposed to be. It's just craft breweries have just kind of done so many different things with it. There's so many different types of stouts now. Like this one being a breakfast stout has a nice little smoothness to it, a little bit more easier drinking type thing. You get a nice feel from some of the maltiness of it and stuff like that and everything. Literally, I could sit and have brunch with this and have bacon and eggs, and I would be just as happy with it. So it's got a nice little bit of smoothness to it that you can actually slide that into it for part of a meal there. Now, starting your day off at 10% ABV, not sure if it's recommended for everybody, but you do you, if you can handle it, do it. But you mentioned Guinness, like in Vanessa here. Well, he's talking about my favorite Guinness is like that foreign extra stout, which is better to me than any of the other stouts for the most part. And that's got like more of a sweeter type feel. And that's just something that came into the American market or really over the last few years, because it used to be just over in Asia, the Caribbean, and parts of Africa. Because of the profile of it, it was more favorable there for some of the sweetness of the stout. And now they found the Americans actually enjoy it as well. So they brought it over to this market.
The sweetness factor is a big selling point for Americans.
Yeah.
I mean, and that transcends beer. I mean, it's even in spirits. I think in part it's because why bourbon has such. I mean, bourbon's obviously provincial for the United States, et cetera, et cetera. I love bourbon. I'm more of a Scotch guy than a bourbon guy, but like the bourbon profile makes sense when you consider like American culture, right? Like the adding sugar to things in general and just the sweetness that you get from the corn. It's not surprising to hear that. Todd,
and I was going to say, on the channel too, there's actually one of the videos I did was about the difference between the porter and stout too. So
I figured you had this. I got to go check that out. You like on your for your palate, are you more of a porter or a stout kind of guy?
Between those two, I'd go more in the stout direction for sure.
Interesting. Okay.
Like for me, porters, I don't know. It has to be a pretty good porter for me. Like I like some porters, but it's kind of hit and miss with porters for me anyway. In that respect. Stouts, for the most part, and I kind of compare like stouts, not taste flavor wise with like an IPA, but there's so many different variations and adjuncts that you can throw in, chocolate, coconut, whatever, caramel, different type, milk stouts and whatever. Like there's not just a stout anymore. There's so many different categories, barrel age, whatever that you can float into with stouts. Now I'm not saying there's not that many with porters, but porter just does. You don't usually see that many like styles of porters like you do with stout.
Yeah. Now you want a good porter to try? Check out the Black Butte Porter, and that's one of the ones that will actually think you're drinking a stout. So that is one done by Deschutes out of Oregon.
Yeah,
and they got I think now it's like Black Butte 33 or whatever. They done so many over the years. That's a nice smooth porter, but it's just like, is this a porter? Because and you see where it gets blurred out there, because you can have that and think you were drinking a stout. It's so good.
That's interesting.
Yeah, when it gets to that close, it's kind of.
But again, all stouts are porters, but not all porters are stouts.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and this makes a lot of sense. I'm curious. There are a couple. As I said, I'm from Wisconsin. My beer drinking was primarily Wisconsin beer. I used to drink. I used to go up to a place like Central Waters, which you.
Oh yeah, I've had Central Waters. I've heard
the Mud Puppy Porter was one of my favorite beers, and you can find it here in Chicago. I mean, you go into a liquor store in Chicago, it's like it's like Target, right? It's like here's your entire wall of Chicago beer, which takes up the entire side, and then there's other Midwest stuff, but. I'm curious, where, if you guys have both had that, where would you put that on your stout to porter profile, traditional stout to porter profile scale, if you remember?
I haven't had that one myself, because I don't get it as much, but I used to see it and get it when I was in Cincinnati, like a Jungle Gym.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about that particular beer.
From Central Waters.
Oh.
Yeah,
they just
you get Central Waters down there, don't you, Todd?
We get a couple of them every now and again. I don't think it's not like a
what would be your
release or whatever. But we do. I have picked up a few of their 4-packs or whatever. Mm-hmm. And everything I've had from them has been really good.
Yeah, I'm curious what you're like.
I think it has all been.
Yeah, 2 or 3 stout beer recommendations for somebody just getting into stout. What would they be?
just getting into stout.
Yeah, like you're like, I wanna try some stout beers. It's winter time. I need a dark beer, something that's got some heft to it, but also like appeasing palate wise, maybe not too complex. Like what would be
as far as which you might be able to get your hands on, because there's so many that are just like regionalized or just local type breweries.
Oh, right.
But Didi, he's going to Denver. He has 5 recommendations, which going to Denver, you're not going to get steered wrong out there. But one that I would say off the bat out there would be Great Divide and their Yeti stouts, which I actually picked up a 3-pack of their stuff. I got to do some reviews on. Left Hand actually has some decent stouts that he mentioned there. New Holland, great stouts that they're actually putting out as well.
Is New Holland in Colorado?
Michigan. Michigan. Yeah. No, I was just answering your question on that one, like the 3, like
got it.
Yeah, they do.
Kind
they
of
do
mainstreamish, big.
Yeah, I think that's probably
most anybody can pick up or whatever.
Yeah, thinking of the ones you can actually, like I said, get your hands on, or those like kind of 3 that are out there as well. He mentioned Odell. Odell does some good beers. They're out of Colorado. I think they're more regional than maybe across the board, but they might be big enough. I think Breckenridge is out of Colorado as well. For Didi's thing. So you have some stuff there, although now they're under the AB and Bev black umbrella, so to speak. It's like, oh, we're a big beer now, you can't drink them. But yeah, it tastes good. I'm gonna still drink it. So just like all you sons of bitches are getting Goose Island, Bourbon County Stout, and not complaining. Right. Like you don't want AB and Bev owning them at that point. So yeah.
But that only counts once a year. Every time it's okay.
Any other time.
Can't do that.
But yeah, Denver, like I said, told the wife, she's like, you should go for it. So this year, I think is when I'm going to try to go to Great American Beer Festival. So
when is that again?
Off the bucket list. It's either September or October.
Oh, right. Okay.
But if you're thinking you want to do it, let me know. And try to get some people, try to get them together, get out there, have a blast. There'll be a lot of other beer tubers out there too already, I know. So
are you going to do the whole event? Was it 4 days?
Oh, I go for the whole. Yeah, I go whole as Dave Chappelle for the whole shebang and bang if I'm going out there. So I'm all in, baby. Like poker, all in. Right? Yeah.
Start to finish.
If you went for a day or two, you'd be like, I wonder what they did on the other days. You would just have that question lingering, I would think. Right. Yeah, what would it be there the whole time? Smarties and Sweet Tarts are the winners of Halloween for me as a kid. Yeah, I was big into those as well too. So Smarties, Sweet Tarts, Now and Laters were popular. Used to hate them damn Sprees. So Sprees are like the budget Sweet Tarts in my mind. Like they just didn't deliver like Sweet Tart. This is like the budget Sweet Tarts. What is this? This Spree is like a knockoff or something, right?
Yeah.
It's like for the kids that couldn't get Kool-Aid, they had Drink Age. It's like, what is this? What's this? Kool-Aid? What's this Drink Aid? What's this Welch's shit? What is this? This ain't Kool-Aid.
Get some tang up.
Like that old Eddie Murphy stand up back when he did Delirious and Mom was making a hamburger and she said, I got better than McDonald's. Like McDonald's don't use no bread. Got a bun. They don't put no green pepper on a hamburger at McDonald's. Oh, he needs to do more stand up again. Special room stuff locally from both of you can find them, but check out Avery's out there as well. Though Avery again, they're one of the ones under the big umbrella too. Not AB and Bev, but they're under one of the Spanish companies. But Avery does good stuff. Like, to the point at this time, now it's just like I always try to go local and try to go regional. I try to go to crafting. Most of my channel is mostly all craft, but you'll see me put some mainstays up on here from time to time too, because it is a beer channel. It's not just a craft beer channel. But when people started getting all upset when people say, it's a capitalist society. They're trying to make dollars and stuff too. So, and
by the way, for speaking of your channel, if I get to see a couple of my whiskey friends are in the house. If you haven't yet, dude, take us a second and subscribe to this man's channel. Rob, shooting in the chats for a while, a couple of years now. So I did try and let folks know it'd be on, so
I appreciate it. Yeah, and if you haven't checked out Malt Muser Whiskey, as you can see the name right there, make sure to check out his channel, subscribe to, and congrats to you for getting over that 1,000 mark a little while back, which was amazing that you weren't there already, because you got great material on your stuff too. So it's funny how YouTube works out, right? Like sometimes you'll just like start questioning yourself, like what's taking so long? Because you'll see other channels like, I know I'm doing as good a job or even better than somebody, and it's kind of like. It just takes time. It takes time to get into the mix.
I totally hear what you're saying. It's a crowded field, and like, I'll be honest, and this isn't an excuse. It's more just like I generally never really tried to make it big. Like I was kind of just doing it as a hobby. Like I went from watching a couple people's channels, not necessarily big channels, but people who were like spending time with whiskeys and talking about them to get into the point where I thought I could do my own. And so I wasn't really trying to promote it. I wasn't trying to, make it like a whole thing. And, so everything has been pretty organic. And, I don't say that as a point of pride. I just say it's like, that's just how it is. Like I'm not trying to like be flashy and have the biggest whiskey channel. I literally just like to drink whiskey and shoot the shit with people. So when people are interested in that, that's fine. And that's how it's worked. So, but I appreciate the shout out. And if you're interested in learning a little bit about whiskey, take a look. Malt Muser Whiskey Reviews.
Yeah, definitely sub in there. And no, I was the same way. I do it just because of the love and the enjoyment that I have with it. So it's great when it does happen as it builds up and stuff. And it's a fun time.
You see it in the beer world as much as I see in the whiskey world. Where there are definitely people who a couple years ago were like lingering around in your chats and hanging out with you, and then all of a sudden, like, I don't know, they paid some marketer or something to figure it all out, and then they got bigger, and then they don't have anything to say to you anymore. And it's fine. I mean, if that's what people want to do, but I don't. I haven't really tried to do that myself. I don't begrudge anybody who does, but it's more just about the fun. And I always say I learned as much from people who join chats as I hopefully share with them, and I'm sure you kind of feel the same way, Rob.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And I just dropped your link there in the chat as well, so
thank you, man.
Make sure to jump over there and sub. And are you monetizing your channel now too yet, or
I do monetize. I mean, it's pennies, so I do apologize for people watching.
Well, the one thing is they're I don't know how much you're doing like the shorts type thing, which the shorts is kind of the hot thing now, but they're monetizing as of February. So
I got the notification about it. I've not done any shorts. I probably won't, but I did see they did put out the make sure you read this and check these boxes.
And see, you're like me. Usually do more of the long form type. Although I do shorts now sparingly. Like when I went to the last beer fest, it was great just popping up short videos like that, just on the different beers I was trying. Yeah,
I'll be totally honest. I think I probably could do more. I'm honestly just like kind of lazy, and also like
that would be me, Eric. That would be me. Like
you know what I mean? Like I'm like, so I was okay. Here's a great example. I'll give you a great example. I was in a liquor store 3 days ago, and this is like a Chicago staple liquor store called Warehouse Liquors. It's down outside of downtown. Like, this is the place you walk in, and this isn't like, a liquor store. It's like a curated fucking liquor store. Like, these people know what they're buying. They put stuff on stuff for a reason. Like, I could have like recorded 6 videos, and I thought about this after I left. I was like, I could have just done a couple things. Like, I put up a photo on my Instagram. I just, I don't want it to become like a chore. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you want to keep the fun of it. Yeah.
Has their own threshold for what a chore is. Some people will be willing to spend a lot of time to like make all the best content that they possibly can and make it the hot spot. And like other people, maybe not. And I'm in the latter. Like, I'm just not gonna spend a ton of time rating fucking short videos or Instagram posts about like the liquor store I visit. Like I'm just not. And I don't begrudge anybody who does. Like I get it. Like we're all in this to enjoy it, but also there's incentives. But I like to just kind of do this for the hell of it,
Yeah. I mean, there's, I put it this way, like it's like there's the Eric time and there's the Mountain User time, right? And it's the same way that when I'm in stuff, it's kind of like I can shoot many a video when I'm like doing the beer shop, and it's like, no, I'll do an unboxing later, something like that and everything. But unless I was at Jungle Gyms, then I did a video there because not everybody sees Jungle Gyms, and that's like kind of a unique situation.
You nailed it. It's like when the moment strikes you and you feel like doing it, do it. But if the second you feel compelled to do something you're not in the mood to do because it's like, quote, good for the channel, that's when like it becomes more of a chore than a fun thing. And look, like I said, I don't begrudge people if they're trying to like make big money off this and do their thing. That's fine. I'm just not. And so I'm just not going to do it, So I totally get you. It's like, and it's a hard line because I don't want to go too long on this, but like for people in the chat who maybe don't know this, as somebody who produces content on YouTube, and Rob and Todd, you probably have opinions on this too. It's like the compulsion is there, man. Like you go run out and buy this newest thing to try to do a video of. Like, do I like it's there because in the back of your head that I could get double monetized on this. Like I'm gonna make way more, and so it gets hard. Like there's a lot of stress, I think, and even when you try to pride yourself on not making it a stressful thing, like the stress exists.
Yeah. And I've talked to people in the past too that would. I mean, there's a lot of planning that goes behind YouTube. So for people that watch don't really see it as much, I mean, it can easily be like that second job if you're putting into a lot of different stuff. And it's a matter of, do you want it to be at that level, or do you want to just have it for the fun aspect of it and grow it as you grow it? So you have to determine how you want to do it at a certain point and then set that guidance up for it. So, and you have to be careful because there are times if you push yourself too much, and I've seen it happen to people, you burn yourself out. I've seen great channels years ago that were doing stuff and they just disappeared. Like they just burn out from it and stuff. And they're still around, but they just don't do videos anymore. They'll pop in occasionally here and there. And it's just like, you can wear yourself down.
You're 100% right. And I used to, on my channel, do a every Tuesday live stream. I used to have somebody I did it with. They couldn't do it anymore. I kept it going. And it was like, I would find myself like, I got to find a new bottle to open. Like, I got to go find something. Like, I got to open a new bottle every week. It's like, keeps it interesting. And finally, in like, I want to say late October last year, I was like, I'm done, man. And I'm done. And I haven't done a live stream in almost a month. I won't do it for another couple of weeks. And for me, I'm going to redo the entire thing. I'm just going to do it when I feel it. Yeah. Like, I'm just like, I got caught up in the loop. Like, shit, I got to be on Tuesday I got to have 5 glasses of whiskey every Tuesday night. Like, I got to have this whiskey live stream and I got to have something to talk about. And it became like chasing your own tail, right? Like, I got to do this for this abstract idea. And I was like, you know what? I'm just not gonna I'm stuck. If people want to hang out, they can. I'm gonna do a live stream when I feel like it, and so I'm glad I was able to pull it back. But to your point, it's real, man. Like you get into it, and before you know it, it's so embedded in your life, so embedded in your routine.
And I think a lot of it, we do put a lot of pressure on ourselves too, thinking that. But I think once you do it for a period of time, and I think you would agree, you realize that people are enjoying it more because of what you're being you, rather than you don't have to always keep bringing the new type stuff. You don't have to keep doing. It's just production. It's just the fun. It's just the whatever you're doing on your channel that 100% do. So, right. Although I still keep getting new beers to bring out for beer reviews and stuff like that, but like Todd's told me many times, he liked when I did the hop videos. I could just sit there and talk about different hot, and it's like, why didn't I go back and do that some more? It's just like I just haven't done it, and it's just like because I feel compelled to move to this, to this, to this. Yeah, and it's like why?
Dude, that's totally real, man. And your point is totally well taken. And then it becomes like a loyal, like you feel like you're loyal, like you have to be loyal to people, right? Like there's people who like come every week, and you're right. It's not just like I could review a whiskey that's probably not all that interesting generally, but people would be, the loyal people who enjoy you and your content and that you appreciate. Like you feel like you're responsible, like you gotta show people. So, anyways, it's tough,
Yeah, it definitely becomes your brand. But I love my people that watch and that hang out and stuff because they suggest stuff and they try different things and surprise with different stuff. So that's always awesome there. And, like I said, I can't believe it, but 2 months from now, it'll be 8 years I've had this channel. Which doesn't even seem like it's been that long. 8 years. And which reminds me, so cheers to everybody that does watch and all the support and all that love out there, because I just crossed 2,000 for subs on here, which
cheers.
When you look at the YouTube channels, there's a lot bigger, but it's kind of like you said earlier, in our kind of fields, it's cramped. We have a lot of people that do liquor reviews, do beer reviews, all kinds of stuff. And the idea that I've had 2,000 people actually come on board with me has just been awesome in itself. So I appreciate everybody for definitely doing that and everything.
Dude, you said it, man. That's exactly right. I feel the exact same way. I think I'm at I just went over 1,400. And it's I would rather do a live stream with 10 of those people than 30 people I don't know. And that's just right. I always want to welcome folks, but at the same time, it's like I'm not, this ain't a job. So we
get some
like that. We gotta rein it in.
Speaking of my people, let's get some comments in here. So Big Daddy was in the house. Sorry, Big Daddy, took a while to get here, but he's actually going old school with the Mickey's Big Mouth out the bottle. So don't see that every day.
Grenade? Is he doing the grenade?
Yeah. Well, the Big Mouth, the grenades is little ones, right? This the Big Mouth is a bigger one.
Oh man.
Which reminds me, Todd, at some point, maybe for 2023, we do a malt liquor show. So, because 2 years now, or so, right? Yeah.
Let's do it.
Those are special edition shows we do. Gilbert's drinking the Sons of Kent Scotch Ale. Craig Elashy 13, so you may know that one there, Eric, as well.
I know Craig Elicke 13.
Craig Elicke, there you go. See,
and
Gilbert is huge on the whiskey stuff. So I don't know if Gilbert, if you didn't subscribe to Malt's channel, make sure you check Eric out there too, because you definitely will love the stuff he's doing.
Be right back.
All right. There's only one New Orleans in the country. Yes, there is. There is. And once you go, you remember it for sure. I just need to be lit up, and I won't need a plane to get back to North Carolina. Oh, you'll be lit up for sure, DD, going to Denver. Well, if you're doing the alcohol, you can do other stuff out there too. I'm just saying. But yeah, one way or another, you'll be lit up in Denver. Packers rebuilding phase, build a D, and a 2 running back Rodgers became a head case. Yeah.
I'm with you, Eric, but we got to fire Barry, but they're not.
DD, every Bruin special, man. The brown ale is fantastic, but their barrel aged line is some of the best. Avery does some good stuff there, and I mentioned I saw in there earlier. I meant to mention Daniel talked about being over 13. Avery has beers I've done with them over 17 on some of their stuff, and they
old?
Huh?
Did you say 17 years old?
17 ABV.
Oh,
ABV, yeah. No, not old, but although some beers you can't hold for a good amount of time. Yeah. Avery will get you lit up on some of their beers for sure. Some of their big boozy ones, yeah. Definitely check Avery out. Yeah, Avery is solid. I still buy it all the time here in Texas. Yeah.
Where's Avery Brewing?
Colorado. Yeah, Colorado Avery Brewing. Yeah. Yeah, if you see the Avery, and it's I want to say the yellow labels on there, on the tinsel, or the black on the tinsel. Those usually are higher ABV ones, I believe. Yeah. But they're pump, and it's pump, and then KY and brackets in, but it's like based off of pumpkin ale. It's like 17.4 or something like that and everything. That'll give a couple of those. You'll be good to go. Yeah.
Avery's crazy high ABV for the most part.
Yeah. And they had someone that was a Beast or something. Beast was in the name, and that was real good too. So the Waffle House fight was from 8 months. That was 8 months ago when they had that. Was it the same fight? Because Waffle House can be every weekend.
I was gonna say it's like it's April Saturday night.
I just saw it hit just recently, but yeah. When I saw that chick just push the chair away the way she did, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, shit, we're going Matrix in here tonight. But to see Keanu walk through the door.
Oh shit! I gotta take a look. I'll be right back, and then I'm gonna pour some whiskey to drink.
All right. She got fired for throwing a sugar thing at the customer. Did she? Oh wow. Oh, you watched on the interview? Okay, man. I think she was just defending herself. I mean, you know.
There you go, Rod.
The other half. Ooh, Todd's got the other half out right now. Is that the one that says broccoli on it too? It says
So it's Nelson Chroma Double Dry IPA. Yeah, it doesn't have anything with the broccoli. This one doesn't anyway. I don't like how they did the writing because it's really hard to see with the sparkles in the white. Like it doesn't come in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, they put it on top. Yeah,
yeah, you
doesn't
can't.
come through as clear.
It's
Yeah,
hard to read. This one is
they try to be too fancy with it.
6.3 ABV. So, and this one is another one courtesy of Joe that was in the package. So.
I mean, Joe has to put the other half in. I think contractually he's obligated to send the other half beer with any package. I think that's it. I think that's in his contract. So
I think so.
Probably wasn't send anything to me over now. Well, Rod can get other half, so I can't send him anything because he already gets other half.
I, on the other hand, do not. So
yeah, you're still in business. Yeah. Yeah, I need to get you. I need to get you some stuff.
Fun because I can send you some stuff that you can't get no more that you used to. And
I got you.
now you can send me stuff that I can't get. Before we used to trade back and forth. It's like, well, damn, we both can get that stuff, so you know, it wasn't that big of a deal.
I could get some more 18th Street from you for sure. I miss having some of their beers.
Sure.
Riding with the Captain Dan's in Maryland. They got the brown paper hammer and the bib. Did you do the bib? Because they do give you a bib offer at some of these spots, stuff like that. But I feel like I see people like wave the bib off, like, nope, don't need it. I need safety glasses. They also have some salmon, beer battered onion rings. Yeah, so shells are flying everywhere, huh? Oh, he's like little Ralphie. You'll put your eye out, kid. It's Crab. It's Crab. Trez in the house. Cheers, Trez. Welcome, my friend. Happy New Year to you, brother, and great to see you as always. I know you're probably out there working, but always appreciate you spending some time here. Going to give Trez the member hello since Trez is a member of the channel. That's something new for this year. I'll be adding in. So appreciate you, homie.
Next time I do get out to Cincinnati, I need to try to meet him for a beer somewhere sometime.
Oh, definitely. There was a great cheesesteak place here, but it closed down during the Rona. Gilbert said, "Oh, that sucks." Brandon's in the house. Cheers, Brandon. Good to see you, my friend.
What's up, Brandon?
Happy Thursday to you. Almost at Wednesday. Ooh, let's not go backwards into the week. I got a 3-day weekend. 3-day weekend.
Impromptu hello from Winston.
There you go.
Woo.
Kitty cat.
Yeah, Winston the Whiskey Cat is apparently decided to come hang out, so I want to make sure he got his hellos. He gets a little if I don't give him this time, he gets a little ornery.
Yeah. Cats can be fickle, that's for sure.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Daniel says, so being honest, at Eric's Ranch, I ran out of beer. Old Putney 12 will fit with the citrus and the salt of the distillery. Nice. It's funny you had a cat there. So in college, we had a cat when we were in college, right? And we raised it from the time we were a kitten. It was a kitten.
Oh.
And whenever you went to the bathroom, the cat would follow you in there. So the cat in the bathtub, right? And I would slide my hand across the side of it. And always try to reach out and grab her or whatever like that and everything. It was funny because when we had parties in college, if people had to go to the bathroom, the cat would go in there and they'd like reach down for it, and the cat like this. Like, they're like, what is wrong with your cat? It's like a demon in there. It's like, oh. Was it in the bathtub? And they're like, yeah, it's in the bathtub. Like, you don't want to reach when it's in the bathtub.
You know why they follow you in the bathroom? This is going to sound crazy, but
what's that?
It's a tried and true fact. The reason a cat follows you in the bathroom is it's trying to protect you because it knows you're vulnerable. And it wants to be in there to protect you from predators. It's a natural evolutionary instinct.
Why doesn't a dog do it? Like a dog doesn't help. Dogs like go do what you got to do. I'll be
I
out
don't,
here.
I don't know, but cat wants to
Interesting.
touch your ass because it knows you're in a state of weakened state. Let's put that way.
But it also knows you're his food source, and if something happens to you, I don't eat. I need this mofo to come back.
You bring up a good point.
Oh man.
The cynic among us might argue that because maybe its supply has been potentially compromised.
That's my food right there. Where you going? Yeah. Every time I go to Chicago, I have to step out of Harold's upon landing for the best damn fried chicken in the state. I'm not scared to pass my money through plexiglass box. Well worth it.
It's 100% right.
I never heard of Harold's when I was up in Chicago any of the times. Okay.
Yeah, Harold's is a local staple here in Chicago. I would say it depends on what your neighborhood you're in. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. But yeah, he's totally right to do that. It's probably the best fried chicken in Chicago that you can get easily. 100%.
Okay.
They're all over the city.
CT's drinking a Silver Morning at Doppelbock by Maplewood Brewing.
Maplewood. Yeah.
JT always keeps it local for the most part.
Yeah, he does. Clearly, man. Yeah, Maplewood, man. They don't mess around. I love that place. Their tap room is fantastic.
Cheers, Respirate. Glad you could join us tonight. Welcome. So Respirate is actually a new subscriber to the channel. So great to have you on board. Give you That's right. That's what we're giving you right there. So I need to use more of these things. I haven't used them enough. So I'm trying to find new reasons. Because StreamYard is like, hey, we got a new toy for you. Have you tried this? Have you tried this? Have you tried? I can't keep up with all the shit you're doing.
Let me ask you. So I pay for a StreamYard, like a StreamYard service. I mean, we can talk about this offline, but I'm curious which one you pay for to add to it.
Well, here, where we are actually, the home of the, how do I say it, Todd? The Rod J deal.
Oh, you got a Rod J deal going on.
So I paid there was one that came out with the thing. It was like $10 a month.
Yeah, that's the one I got.
Oh, okay. Well, you got the Rod J deal too, so we'll give it to you. Well, that was a little. That's been a bad horn before.
You gotta tell me what to do because I've been wanting to add some of those effects for a minute.
It's like the horn didn't believe you or something.
At least it's not the Minnesota Vikings horn. Man. That would just
like, wait a minute, this guy got a Rod J deal? We don't believe that at all. Yeah. So it was.
No, I pay $10 a month, but I don't know if it's the Rod J deal. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so $10 a month was a special one they actually had for a period, and you get pretty much everything you get on the 20, except you can't get rid of the StreamYard logo that's up on the top right corner.
No, I got All right, we gotta talk.
You got rid of this one on the $10 one. I mean,
you can replace it with your own logo on mine for $10, but maybe I just don't know how to add the effects. I don't know.
No, because when I put it on mine, if I put a logo up there, I can go into here.
I don't know how to do
that up there, and it slides it to the left. But you could blend it out if you have the background for it.
That's what I got.
Yeah. So you can do something like that. Or when Todd's wife Shannon comes on, I put this up there just so people know, it might get a little crazy. we have to let people know when she's on here. So fair warning to everybody for sure. So man, I got some comments coming. Let me see here. I had to pick up some more Iyer. Celebrate a double box. Awesome. Yeah, you better get some now while you can if you see it because kind of past that season for it. So anything left on the shelves won't be back until next year. James said definitely. No, you can't. And when we did Oktoberfest in Cincinnati, which if you ever get down there, Eric, because you're right there in Chicago, you get it in Cincinnati. It's the second biggest Oktoberfest behind Munich. So they come over from Iyer comes over and Polliner comes over, and it's a great beer from Germany. Yeah, big German heritage.
Okay,
one of the bigger German heritages in the country.
That's wild. I mean, I'm from Milwaukee, and I didn't even know about that. Milwaukee. How much more German you get than Milwaukee, but that's amazing.
Yeah,
I have driven down to. I have been to Cincinnati, but man, thank you for sharing that. I gotta stop that.
Yeah, when we had the COVID hit in 2020, well, 2020 it came, but 2021 they canceled it in Oktoberfest in Munich, but they had it in Cincinnati, and that year was the biggest in the world. So,
Okay.
yeah, but stouts to porter, especially barrel aged in Chicago, knows a Goose Island. Yep. Ooh, 6 Point Brewery Smoothie IPA. Have not seen that one for 6 Point. 6 Point solid brewery out of New York as well. Always recommend checking them out. And for those of you that watched my reviews this week, I've been on a little bit of a smoothie kick on the sours. It wasn't set up to be that way, but that's what I was kind of going through. And this whole smoothie style, one, it shouldn't be called beer, but two, it is damn freaking good. So
those smoothies are great.
Yeah. I could probably get away with it.
After seeing your review, some I was like, I need to go to the liquor store to see if they still have any on the shelves here. Because
I feel like I can get away with that at work, just to like walk around with those and they think I was drinking juice. Like they're so fucking tasty.
Rod, what's the price of those there?
From Imprint Beer Company, I think if you get the singles, you're probably around somewhere between 4 to 5, depending on where you're at. If you get a 4-pack of them, you're probably looking around 14, I think.
Really? See, I was thinking it was damn.
Now, Imprint, the ones I did from Imprint, they are actually based out of PA, so I do get the Imprint beers here. So if you want to look at me getting some of those, we can look at that too.
We've gotten some of the smoothie stuff here before, but I feel like it was way more expensive than that. And I was like, yeah, I get 1 can, but I ain't buying a 4-pack.
I think that's what it was. It becomes a blur. You know, you go to the beer store, you get all stuff. It becomes a blur at a certain point. And it's kind of like
$30 range for 4-pack. Yeah. I was like, I don't know about that, but I'll try one just because, you know.
In my mind, I try to average it out. Like if I can get a Rod J deal and a couple things here, I don't mind paying up over here. It's kind of, I'm going through the beer store like American Pickers, basically.
Well, you can be American Pickers, but I'm a nympho for info over here, man. How do I get it on this fucking Rod J deals, dude? What's up with this? Help me out.
It'll happen eventually. Trust me, it happens eventually. You just need to know. You have to hang out with him a couple times, like in person, and then it just kind of starts flowing in. But it's
not, man. You ever, either of you gentlemen, ever going to Chicago?
You guys got a Rod J deal right now up there.
Here's on me.
Dave from Beer in Front. Dave Z, I don't know if you listen to Beer in Front podcast or check out his channel. Great guy. Check him out. He had on his podcast last week. One of the Chicago stores was selling Bourbon County beers at half price.
Damn.
Chains, the variants and everything.
Garfield's? Was it Garfield's?
It wasn't Garfield's. Who else you got up there?
I mean, obviously Benny's, but local chains.
Like a grocery store or something, maybe.
Oh, freaking Jewel Osco?
Jewel. It was Jewel.
Dude, Jewel was doing variants of the
everything from Goose Island, half off.
Jeez.
All the Bourbon County stuff. So he was going to his Jewel place last week to check it out. I got to find out if he got some good grabs there. Yeah.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the regular Bourbon County was like $6 a bottle, and then the variants were like 12 to whatever.
Gerald bottle is like 27, but if
Jewel was putting half off, and you were going crazy with them. So you got Rod J deals flowing through your
Oh my God, Jewel. Okay. Okay.
This is why I always recommend to people have more than one store in your repertoire because different stores are doing different things out there. Bourbon's in the house. Cheers, Bourbon. Good to see you, my friend. It's been a while as well. Bourbon Bounty, another great channel. You know Bourbon as well. And make sure to check him out. He said, royalty on this stream. What's up, Mountain User? So, yeah.
Hey, Bourbon Bounty. What's up, buddy?
Yeah. So, yeah. Bourbon's been, Malt's been dancing on the beer side of things. So, we got him on tonight as well. And Bourbon will drink some beer now and then. Usually, I think he was drinking like Coors Light to temper his palate down after the bourbon, though. We got to get him some other stuff to actually try at some point.
Yeah.
He's out of North Carolina, man. I don't know if they got up there.
Daniel's bourbon as well. Cheers. Doing well. A bad axe on my stream earlier. That guy's a character. Was a good time. Oh, nice bourbon. Love the Great Divide, Yetis, and almost anything. Yeah, anything by them as well. So if you didn't see the unboxing, I'll grab the 3-pack I just picked up for them when I was I think I was up in Jersey when I got that. So I'll share that here in a second.
Yeah, I love getting a lot of the Great Divide stuff, but we don't get any of the Yeti stuff here anymore. I don't think.
That might be the new store because that guy that changed it up might be cutting you guys out or something.
The beers in my neck of the woods now, it sucks. Like, and it's probably because like I gotta find some. I might have to drive Jungle Gems once a week just to get some good shit.
Disc golf,
or make the drive up and go to Benny's or someplace
or something. Yeah,
man. Swing up to the Shy, man. I'll meet you for a beer.
There you go.
All right.
He said now later he's calling Phil. Yeah, they would. We used to call them like basically roof scratchers. They would get stuck on your top of your mouth, behind your teeth, and you'd be scratching that thing. You're trying to fucking get it out of there at a point.
Oh, you always destroyed your.
The beginning of it always went well, but the ending of now and later is always a pain in the ass.
It was never.
It's like I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe again, but yet there I am falling for the banana in the tailpipe every time.
100%.
Which I don't know if you guys saw it. They're making a new Beverly Hills Cop movie again.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, they're doing like another part to the series with it. You know, it's Hollywood. You know, they figure it's time. They got that coming out.
Well, they can't make anything new other than Marvel movies. It's like everything is remakes or sequels these days.
Very true.
A lot of it is for sure. Yeah. Now, yes, Wilder's was a cheaper Kool-Aid, but I think there was one called Wilder's Drink Aid as well. Was that different?
Wilder's, dude. Wilder's. I know Wilder's.
Yeah, that was the knockoff of the Kool-Aid. Yeah. Colorado is one of the only places you can still get Batch 19 from Coors. I love it. I haven't had Batch 19 in a while. I did have that before. That actually wasn't too bad. Annihilators. Talking about the Annihilators.
Yes.
Yeah, you enjoy it now because you're not getting it out till later. So yeah, it's Annihilators. There's so much good weather. Definitely playing. It's nice that somebody's having good weather around the country. Tried to play last few weeks in a row, rain. Well, down in Texas, they had some storms earlier. There's last couple months too. I think my mother-in-law's out of Dallas, and they had to deal with some stuff. Hey, what's up, Bart? Cheers, my friend. Bart's one of my Jersey peeps, stopping in to say hello.
What's up, Jersey?
One of the cool things about being back on the East Coast, though, which I'm sure you'll appreciate, Eric, Wawas. I got Wawas.
Oh! I do miss the Wawa. Wawa is the most reliable thing in your life. You can show up for Wawa at any time, and it's like it's going to deliver. You got your luck. Miss the Wawa.
And if you guys haven't,
didn't you say they were putting Wawas in Kentucky or something?
Yeah, they got Kentucky. You're going to get them. I think down towards Louisville, probably the next 4-6 months or something. They're coming this year.
I hope so.
Yeah. You've heard me talk about Wawa for a long time. So,
yeah. And I was like, I gotta try. I don't care if I drive an hour. I'm gonna drive an hour just to check it out. Just because.
If you guys haven't checked that link, hit that link. Give Eric some love for sure. So make sure to reach out to him there.
Appreciate you, man.
Let's see. And shout out to Erie dropping the big old super sticker. Wow. Thank you, Miss Erie. Appreciate you. Hopefully you're having a great day. Wow. You must be kicking some ass on Warzone. You're dropping the big 20 bomb out there. So love you, and got to give you the big old super thanks.
Woo! 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 Ow! Love that money.
That was awesome.
Thank you, ma'am. And I'll be back on Warzone probably tomorrow as well. So get back in and play a little bit. And let me see here. Says then we talk a bit, then buys happen. Oh, wait a minute, go back to Daniel first. Whoops, there's Aries and what's up. And I'm trying to figure out where I left off at. Me and Eric talked our way through this whole last 3 days experience for him. It was funny, and he found out things. We get look at the site like kids when we find, but then we share that sometimes. Then we talk a bit about the buys app. Okay. Let me see here. And it says, we were having a rough night, but tomorrow's supposed to be perfect. So I'm going to be playing Manana. So for the disc golf there. All right. Even Eric Lightly, this is thought messages be me and probably other people. OP12 bottle kill. That's got to be one of the whiskeys.
Well, he's killing a bottle of Old Palm.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Hell yes on the 2K. Well, thank you very much. Dude, I certainly appreciate you. Thanks, Daniel. We do this every Thursday night, so we just kick back, relax, have some drinks, and talk about whatever. It was great having Eric as a guest here tonight. I'm back in
for sure.
And we are going to be adding a new team member. I didn't tell Todd yet, but it'll be a new team member, and I'll be joining us here in February. And we're going to add a little more flavor to the channel. So once you see the person, you'll know and you'll enjoy. Trust me. So the person that's been here previously.
Oh snap!
Yeah.
Now you got my wheels spinning. I'm trying to think.
Yeah. Keep up the good work, Rod. Appreciate that, Bart. And hopefully you're having a happy new year. Hopefully everybody's having a happy start to the new year, because 2023 has to be better than 19 through 20, right? So, or 20 through 22. I mean,
eventually, we say it often, it's going to happen at some point.
Nowhere to go but up, right? I mean,
right? Nowhere to go but up. Thank you, JT. I appreciate a lot of people that huge followers, people they don't know. All yours. Well, I appreciate that. If you're going to do a channel, I always feel like you do it right. Like, I see people do live streams, they don't read comments, and I'm like, why are you even live? Just record it and put something up there. You should be interacting. And I like to learn and know everybody I talk to. Huh?
100% agree with you.
Yeah, it's why do the live stream if you're not going to be engaging and do that? And like, I've seen people like, oh, I have to try to do all these like, you're all mad about it. Like, so sorry, are the people watching your channel bothering you right now? Like,
you're right.
So I love it. That's
because they're trying to make money, man. It's just the money.
Yeah. Well, this is what makes it fun and which I really enjoy.
Seriously, yeah.
I don't know how many times I watch it, like, stream and comment or whatever, and like, never, nothing, crickets, blah, 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 like, people that we know or whatever. And it's like,
yeah.
Why am I going to watch it now if you're not even going to interact? Like, just watch it later,
Or they just flash it and don't even acknowledge it.
100%, Todd, you nailed it. You nailed it. That's exactly right.
And Todd, going to start chat. We're trying to get him to start something there. You
never know, Larry. Probably not, but you never know.
He's on the Beer Patrol long range plan. I think, so.
That's right.
Check back in 2026.
Yeah.
Well, Rod, I don't mean to interject, but I'm about to finish this beer, and I'd love to have you join the whiskey channel sometime to talk about whiskey from a beer drinker's perspective.
I will. I would love to do that.
Well, I would love to extend you guys invites. I am going to begin my sign-off process here, but
okay.
Really do appreciate you guys having me on, man. This was a lot of fun shooting stuff, and hope to join you again sometime. And cool to meet a lot of the beer folks here. So appreciate.
Yeah, definitely. And a little fun trick you can do that I used to do is you get a stout, but before you pour the stout in, put in a shot of bourbon. Whatever bourbon you want to try.
We're talking carbon. Is that like an Irish nuclear bomb or a car bomb?
No. You're thinking about the Irish car bomb? No, it's not that. Although
that sounds nuclear.
I've done plenty of those. Which, if you ever go to visit Ireland, don't ever ask for that in the bar. I had a friend that did that one time. He wasn't well liked when he did it. He did like, the IRA. You probably don't want to ask for it actually at an Ireland bar, but
right.
But you pour in a shot of the whiskey, and then you pour the stout in, and it blends together nicely. And you can make your own little barrel aged stout. So it's a little way to give you a little bit of flavor of the whiskey and the beer.
You are the Shooter McGavin of
Shooter McGavin. I can't do it now because I got a glass in my hand.
I will say I have been to Ireland, and I did not order a car bomb. And it sounds like that was the right move. I really appreciate it, Rob. Man, it's been cool to hang out. It's been so long. We've been talking for years, and Todd, super cool to meet you. I've been watching.
Yes, good to meet you too, Eric.
Do your hangouts. Rod, keep your eye out for a invite you guys for coming on the whiskey stream sometime soon. And again, appreciate everybody for hanging out, man. Learned a couple things about beer, and until next time.
Yeah, definitely. All right, definitely. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
He said, keep on. I thought he was going to go into the Brady Bunch, keep on, keeping on song. Remember that from back in the day when they did that, when they just sing on the channel? That was funny. That would have been funny if he just started singing the Brady Bunch song. Keep on, keep on. Oh, let's see. Bart just drank his last Anchor Steam Christmas ale. Those are always good. I did not get one for this past year. I like to get those each year to kind of see how they change it up. And each year they put a different tree on the label, which is always pretty cool too. I wonder if people have a collection of Anchor bottles. Somebody probably does out there because they're always so different. So, yeah.
Kind of makes you think, like, kind of makes you wish, like, you would have saved some now just to see the differences over a long period of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Daniel dropped out malt as well make sure you definitely check that guy out. Eric is definitely doing some great things on his channel. As a whiskey guy at Fun Fellow, I appreciate there as well. And bro, he's slightly thankful. Always got to be slightly thankful, you know. I still have to add. Yeah, I mean, you can't take it for granted. I think some people can fall into that a little bit or get into the woe is me. It's just, you know, it's having fun. For me, it's just having fun out here, chatting with everybody, doing this as a hobby. As I've said numerous times before, it was really the wife that got me even started a channel. I wasn't going to do a channel before, and it was her idea to even get in there and do that. And I enjoy coming in on these Thursdays, hanging with Todd and talking with everybody. And
for sure.
Yeah.
Always enjoy it. Look forward to Thursdays.
Yeah, it's like your virtual bar in the home. So
yeah, especially like one for me. I don't have my own channel, so I always appreciate, you know, being brought into the atmosphere of the live or whatever, you know, doing this.
Oh yeah. Well, you were here pretty much.
Even though I've been around it for a long time, but I've never been with everybody else involved, you know, going way back. But
nice. Big Daddy just described the malt as well. Recently scored a Weller Special Reserve. Nice. Yeah, you'll like the stuff that Eric's doing over there, Big Daddy, for sure. Definitely Todd. Big Daddy, I just finished my Weller Special Reserve. Awesome. Well, there you go. Trez is also knocking it out. So
yeah.
I need to get back up in Cincinnati, get you and Trez and have some whiskey and cigars. Trez is a big cigar person too, so I haven't had a cigar in a while. I enjoy one of those.
Definitely do
dogs do. Yeah. Dogs don't care what you're doing. Cats, they'll follow you, but dogs are like, I'll see you when you get back, you know. Until they're hungry, then they'll jump all over you. Yeah. After a couple shots, 13 ABV, the cat might go through all the stuff. Speaking of Nine Lives, anybody seen Puss in Boots yet? I just saw that one for best. No, it didn't win for best animation. It lost to Pinocchio on Golden Globes, but I know a lot of people were taking their kids to see the Puss in Boots movie. Which Antonio Banderas from Shrek did a pretty good job with that character.
Yeah.
If it follows me to the can. Oh, shit, yeah. Oh, Rajay deals for all. Everybody gets Rajay deals. I'm like Oprah if I could. You get a Rajay deal. You get a Rajay deal. You get a Rajay deal.
It's the Rajay list for Christmas. Whatever was Oprah's Christmas list.
Speaking of deals, what is the deal with like eggs? I keep seeing stuff pop up on eggs. Are eggs that high right now in the grocery store? I don't usually eat them as much, but I see a lot of people talking about egg prices lately.
Honestly, don't know either.
I see videos like people are dressed up as drug dealers, like packaging eggs to sell on the street. Like, what is the deal with the eggs?
Yeah, like eggs in a baggie, like multiple baggies. And I was like, I didn't catch what it was good, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah. You know, the funny thing I think about now is, Erie, her and Alan actually had like chickens they raised, but people in Kentucky that had chickens, they're probably making out like bandits then, because they're probably like selling some of the eggs and stuff out to people. When people were like, you can't have chickens, and people complaining about them, now they're probably coming over. Can I have some eggs?
You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing better than a farm fresh egg. I don't know what it is, but
the handshake is a good handshake. That's 2.5% on the credit card is a killer. Every store owner loves cash. Yeah. Speaking of cash, don't forget, if you haven't done it yet, and if you're looking to throw a few dollars out there, I guess tomorrow's the next drawing for the Mega Millions. What is it, like
1.3.
1.3 billion?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your odds of hitting are like 1 in 302 million or something, but you got a chance. You got a chance, just like Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying I got a chance.
Can't win if you ain't in.
That's right. You get no points if you're on the bench. Just saying. Love using cash. Oh, you were getting killed like a mofo. You gave it up. I thought you were crushing it there. I'm going to be playing tomorrow probably. So, yeah. We got Mr. French in the house. Thank you, Mr. Appreciate you coming over. Yeah, Moth just left a little bit ago and trying to catch up on the comments, but great to have you on board. And yeah, we do this every Thursday night, have a little bit of fun. And first time to the channel, so let's do the air horn. Appreciate you being. And sub, cheers. Well, thank you. Oh, in Duluth. So he's in. Oh. So earlier, he's got the real cold air. He's got really cold where he's. He's like, what you like 5 negative? Said he nothing. He's wearing shorts out for that.
Hold my beer.
I bet his beer goes frozen. What's up, Anna? Cheers, my friend. Great to have you as well. Nice to have you on board, and welcome to the channel as well. And he just said $20 in Spirit. Was it on Spirit Airlines? Maybe that's why it never arrived. I don't think I could ever fly Spirit. I just feel like when prices are too low, I got questions about who's flying it. I mean,
like,
just saying.
I think I can. Like, no, I want to make sure I can.
It's like for influence, everybody has to run and get the running start so he can get up in the air or something, If you go to Ireland, never ever kiss the Blarney Stone unless you like eating the yellow snow. Ooh, not for the yellow snow. Yeah, unless you have the Rogue Yellow Snow IPA, which is not a bad IPA. So there you go. Always a good time for sure. So Anna Daddy said he dropped $9 on a dozen. Got me $9 for a dozen eggs.
Holy shit!
I did not know it was that much. I may have to start. Shit, I'm about to go kidnap some chickens and start bootlegging some eggs around town.
Like, what do you want? Like,
I'll be like the little cartoon. I'm a chicken hawk. I'm looking for chicken.
Brown eggs, white eggs. What do you want?
Shit, for that amount? Shit, yeah. Yeah.
No wonder those like 3 eggs in a bag.
I mean, were those like free range or something? Like $9 on a dozen? I mean, there's got to be something there. Grain fed, like what special chickens?
Jeez.
I mean, that's all clucked up.
Eggs is like, now I don't even want to go back. I'm like, yeah, I don't even that bad.
He said some eggs, bacon, and waffles. Well, how about bacon and waffles?
Right.
Yes, eggs are high. My dumbass chicken's been laying in a stupid place. But you got eggs laying now. So like I said, so you got the eggs coming in, and you probably sell like, I say a cash cow, but it's a cash chicken with those eggs and stuff. So people around town, watch out. People be trying to sneak in your yard to get some eggs now. Yeah. Wouldn't that be something? There'd be egg thieves out there stealing eggs from people. I wouldn't doubt it was people.
I mean, yeah, there's been worse things, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I like the one guy that, so porch pirates have been a thing like around holidays, especially where people go around the areas and try to steal off the porch. And one guy pretty much put like dog shit in the box. And the guy stole it. That's what he pretty much got when he took it. Like, you got to be some low life son of a gun to sit there and steal, especially around the holidays. You're stealing kids' presents and stuff like that. It's like, yeah.
I've seen where they put like exploding and a bunch of glitter.
Yeah,
or whatever,
and you identify them and stuff too. So yeah. Those are the smart ones that do that. Those are the ones with the degrees.
Right. Right. Or retirees, they got more time on their hands than those do.
They're the same ones that came with the blue dye that you put into the money bags from the bank if somebody steals it, where it's all blue. Like, yeah. We ain't that high tech. We just putting dog poo in it. Oh, shoot. Elbow in the
Whoa.
house. Cheers, my friend. Good to see you. It's definitely been a while. Give you a round of applause, my friend. Yeah, we're still rocking. We'll have to get you back up here at some point, or hopefully everything is going well. Happy New Year to you, and hopefully things are good on your end. So that's awesome. Y'all don't know Elbow, check him out. Hopefully you're still rocking and doing the music on your channel. Elbow's down in the Tampa area. Likes to jam out, do some stuff, does some different beer type things as well. But a great person for sure. So appreciate you swinging in, homie.
Good to see you. Good to see him pop in.
One of my chickens got hit crossing the road. Dumb chick. Well, apparently they didn't know about the chicken crossing the road. You should have taught that to them. Did you read them the book about the chicken crossing the road? I mean, that's kind of under your leadership area.
That might be
That chicken did not know to not cross the road. You do it in the house. Oh, shit. What's up, homie? Good to see you. Up there in Jersey. Y'all don't know you do it. Let me tell you, you do it. This guy put so many different things together on his channel. He did the Christmas light display, which is awesome to watch how he built that out. Y'all want to look at doing some different things around the house, some different type of improvements or different things electronically. Y'all need to check out homie here. He does some great stuff for sure. So make sure to check out his channel as well. What's up, Elbow? And you do it from Erie. Hello from Australia. Welcome, Vinny. Appreciate you being here. Cheers and happy Friday to you. And now Sam's not alone. Now we have another person from Australia. So that is cool in itself. That's another place I would like to visit at some point. Only problem with visiting Australia, dude, they got some big ass spiders over there. I mean, these spiders are like freaking.
Into the biggest house of spiders.
If there was a country that might be like land of the lost, it'd be Australia with the big ass spiders. They get that jump out and then the freaking snakes come up through the toilet in some of the places over there. Like, what kind of plumbing where the snakes get into the toilet type? You got
that. Like, how does that happen?
I feel like somebody set up the toilets, but they missed a trade class somewhere because it happens so common over there. Like, did you seal the back of the toilet? That's the question. Did you seal the back? Because somehow the snake got in. But the spiders are like huge. Then, of course, you have some of the other wildlife. But the landscape is beautiful in Australia from pictures and stuff I've seen. I would love to definitely check that out at some point. I was getting crushed. Superman sent me a build it a little better, but my barrel is so big and massive. But I don't. Wait, are we talking Warzone or something else here? What is going on? Does Alan know about this? Does Alan know about what's happening here? You read that statement, it's like, what is going on? You got to be able to handle the barrel if you're going to carry it, though. Everything's going. Rain over here in Jersey. Oh, you got rain? I was going to say, I don't think we have any rain in Baltimore, so that's kind of weird. Eggs are $5 or $6 a dozen. This is told by my wife. I shop without looking at prices. Drive her is crazy. Yeah, my wife shops without usually looking at the prices, but usually I do the shopping most of the time. But I did not realize they were $5 or $6. The last eggs I bought, which we still have some in there, were a few weeks ago, and I think it was like $2.50 or something. Actually, you know what? They were delivered. She got hers delivered when she got them. So I don't know what they were, but they're probably around somewhere around there, I think. But it is kind of a fancy type wrapping, so there might be more.
Rod, I don't have to say it because you just said Janice doesn't pay no attention to prices either. So you know.
Our wives are the same person pretty much. So yeah.
She's like, I don't know, I gotta have it, so I'm just gonna buy it. Like, okay, I guess, but whatever.
Yeah. So for those of you watching that don't know, so our wives, we've all met each other and we went to dinner and stuff like that and everything, and our wives were like pretty much just, and they just were like the same people. It was kind of funny, yeah. Oh, that was a good time. Yeah, we got rain now, Erie. So yeah, hopefully stay safe. Make sure you guys are onto the weather and stuff there. I worry about where you guys are just because that storm's coming through, and nighttime is usually the worst time for some of these storms. And seeing how they had some stuff down in Alabama and Louisiana, knock on wood, you guys are all safe there as well.
No doubt.
I say the same thing about it, right? Yeah. I mean, if it's too cheap, I don't want to mess with it. It's kind of like I'm all about savings. I mean, this is the home of the Rod J deals, but if it's too cheap, nah, bro, I gotta let that slide. That just don't seem right.
But if you're like, if it like depends on it, like flying 30,000 feet in the air, just save a couple dollars,
Yeah. I'm like, that Spirit, I feel like you got to hold on if you're on that plane. I don't know. Yeah. But Spirit was merging with JetBlue, which is another one I've never flown. But I have friends that fly both of them. And I'm just like, well, Spirit will leave your ass for one. Just fly with them somewhere. They had no problem taking off and leaving you like a meter or somewhere. And JetBlue is another one at the low budget. But people seem to like the JetBlue airline. So I don't know. My main favorite is Delta. The last one I went last week, as I told Todd earlier, was Southwest. Southwest actually flies pretty smooth. You just can't pick your seat until you're on the plane, which is weird because I feel like it's a Greyhound of the airlines. Like just like the bus, right? Yeah. Like you remember back in the day when you rode the Greyhound bus, like you took the aisle seat because if you took the aisle seat, it might block somebody else from trying to get in next to you. If you took the window seat, they would sit down on the aisle. So you had to get the aisle seat. Yeah. You didn't make eye contact when people got on the bus. You just kept looking. you look right at your seat. You look right at your seat until one of them may stop or tapping your shoulders on that and everything. Because if you made eye contact, they felt you were a friend. And they're like, oh, mind if I sit next to you? Yes, I do mind. Is there a seat back here somewhere? So,
then you
never made eye contact.
Look on your face. So, like, somebody like, I don't want to sit there because I can deal with like an asshole.
Yeah. I'll be like, you have to be like Bernie Mac. I don't care about you, motherfucker. You sit back by the shitter. California, very nice. Love San Diego. Been there. Love San Francisco. Another great area. Those are two great cities too. San Diego, no matter what, 75 degrees.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. And San Fran, being down on the wharf, it'll cost you to go out there. I mean, in San Fran, I saw a report like a year and a half ago, 120,000 is considered low income out there now. So that's how crazy prices are. But the sites and the stuff around, going to Chinatown, San Fran is a nice little part of the state for sure. But better be making some bucks if you're going out there.
I've never been to San Fran, but I've been to San Diego. Well, my aunt and uncle. Well, my uncle passed away, but my aunt still lives out there. So we've been to San Diego, and it's like it was phenomenal.
Yeah, and I've been to Sacramento, which was nice. A lot of trees up that way. The coolest thing about going to San Diego is we took the Pacific Coast Highway for a part that we drove down on, and just that coastal highway. You just, especially if you're like in a convertible, you put the top down. It's just like great sights, great temperature, just a great ride overall. Until you get close to San Diego and you get close to the Marine base, and you think like the world's under attack because you got choppers and stuff landing and people jumping off of them, and you're like, "Whoa, did something just happen here? What is? Are we going Red Dawn right now? What is going on?" So, outside of that moment when you get caught off guard, it's a nice little ride. And been to Oakland. It's funny. The year we were in Oakland was the summer before the World Series. That same year, when they had like the earthquakes that took place.
Oh yeah,
which was crazy. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the thing is, that summer we were going back and forth over that bridge like all the time. And that's when it's weird when you see that bridge had collapsed. Like you get one of those moments where it's like, that could have been you on that bridge.
You're right.
You used it so much, it becomes so surreal at that point. Yeah. Oakland, you need to be careful. So when we were in Oakland, what we were doing is we were selling college books. That's a company called Southwestern. I don't know if they're still doing stuff, but they used to go to college campuses and recruit college students to sell books across the country, which were kind of like a mix of an encyclopedia and a dictionary type thing for kids to learn education. So you go door to door doing this stuff. So we had Oakland we were going to, and we were on one of the streets, and one of the guys was like, "Y'all ain't from around here, are y'all?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Y'all don't want to go to somebody's houses down there." And they were pointing out the crack houses to tell us which houses not to go to. And they're like, plus you got a big bag. It's like, you guys are making yourself look like somebody that's going to got some money on you or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yeah. So I was like, I need to get picked up right now. I think I'm in the wrong area. Yeah.
Come get me, please. Come get me.
Yeah.
Like,
so that was
down the back of a milk carton.
That was my first time dealing with crack houses. So yeah. Like, oh, don't go to that one. No. Knock on the door. Sound like the police. Oh no, they start opening fire. Hell no, I'm out of here. Yeah. $9. Wow, free range. They need to be recycled. Like, right? $9 is a good chunk of money for some eggs. Like, we're talking about eggs. It's like I go to my Iverson. We talking about eggs. We talking about eggs. Eggs.
What are we talking about?
Just large. Not jumbo, not medium, just eggs. Yeah. You can't find half the eggs. Ours are free range and they think they're part of cats. They just chill in trees. They're hiding the eggs. They're making you guys do an Easter egg hunt is what they're doing. Oh, your chicken was the egg. Like, yeah, like it's Easter, right? Like, oh, damn Easter egg hunt early. Yeah. Chickens are assholes.
They're sitting back laughing like, let's see if they can find this one.
Yeah. It's over there. It's sunny side up. Yeah. It was not to cross now. Well, the one that's dead knows, right? The other one should have seen it and be like, oh, don't go over there.
Oh, shit, don't do that.
He's in the room, yeah. Oh, good taste trash, Big Daddy said. Storm said earlier this morning, lightning actually hits. Oh, shoot, someone's roof crazy. Haven't flown in a plane in 7 years. Dang. Yeah, I mean, planes, still up there, still doing stuff. I mean, luckily I flew last week and not this week, which this week sucked because the FAA had that issue they had, but people were pissed at the airports. It happened. So Storm said earlier today in the morning, lightning actually hit a family's roof.
Yeah, so Prez was getting that storm to come through our area. Early this morning on the way to work, it was like, Jesus.
Yeah, Bertie Mac was just funny as hell. And it's funny, I was watching a piece on him. So if anybody ever watched like Def Comedy Jam, they had one of the first ones Bernie Mac was on to do like really getting recognized on stuff. And he talks about one of his lines was, I ain't afraid of you, motherfucker. Well, what happened on that show was the guy that went before him was getting booed by the crowd and stuff. And so the crowd was going in on him like it was Showtime at the Apollo. So he came out there and that was a whole part of his thing. But they never really talked about it there. But I saw an interview where he talked about that before. That's how that actually came out of that. But Bernie Mac, he kills it. So unfortunately, we lost him too soon there. But yeah.
No doubt.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Yeah. a little apocalypse now. Yeah. Yeah, the movie Apocalypse Now. Larry Fishburne was 17 years old in that movie. He actually lied, I think, about his age, so he got the role. So, but yeah, Larry Fishburne's been around for a while. He does some pretty good work. Speaking of which, I can't wait. It's almost time for the new John Wick movie to come out. Are you a big John Wick fan?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've watched them all.
You watched all three? So I've watched all three. Number 4 comes out. And have you seen the trailer?
No, I haven't. When does that come out?
I think it comes out, I want to say either spring or May or something. Well, if you ever seen the trailer, I won't tell you about the trailer. But in the trailer, it's like, what the fuck just happened? I thought that changed last movie. Well, yeah. You got to watch the trailer just to see. But I'm looking forward to some John Wick there.
Series. I do like that. That's been enjoyable.
Yeah, I've enjoyed them. So I actually watched Parabellum a couple weekends ago. It was on. I was watching some of that one there. So yeah, that was number 3. And it's funny. It's like she'll say, "Well, turn it down. I haven't seen them yet." Or whatever. Like you ain't gonna see them now. We're on number 3. If you ain't seen it by now, you ain't gonna see it. So yeah.
I can't say like I didn't see the first 2 when they first come out. And then one week when we were down in Tennessee one weekend, it was like, so we watch movies and hang, whatever. And like, you seen John Wick? It's like, no, I've never seen those. We watched like the first 2, and then the third one came out. I was like, okay, now I gotta watch. It's like, oh yeah. Yeah,
I mean, to not see John Wick was like, what was that movie with Simon Pegg when he was the cop? You know Simon Pegg, the actor. He does the
Oh, the Canadian. There's a
Well, he's from UK. Him and the one guy, and they did like Shaun of the Dead, and they had the one where he was the police officer.
Right.
And have you seen that one?
I don't.
When they were the cops. Well, it was one of the cops. It was one when they were playing cops, and so Simon Pegg is more like the straight lace thing, and his buddy is like more the comical type thing. And so his buddy is like, there's nothing that goes on in their town usually.
Is that Super Troopers?
No, not Super Troopers. That was a different one. But he basically is going through Hot Fuzz. That's what it is, JT. Thanks. So Hot Fuzz. And it's kind of like, you know, they're going through the movies and he's like, what do you mean you never seen like Bad Boys or you never seen Point Break? Like he does just like, and it's funny because he does Point Break. He's like, you never seen Point Break? Like how it was Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze need to hide his love for him behind and all this stuff. Like it was just like this whole thing. Like never looked at Point Break that way before. So, but it's kind of like when you don't see John Wick, it's like you never seen John Wick, you never seen with this and this and this, but then you got all caught up on it. So, but John Wick is a pretty good series. That's one of the series that I don't mind them doing like a sequel to. You know,
Right.
It's like they've done them pretty well all the way through.
Yeah. Those have been pretty good.
Last year had an earthquake in Oakland. I think that might have been it. It was the big one that was out there. I remember just seeing the bridge collapse, and it was just like, dude, like we took that bridge like every day almost going into Oakland. San Diego was a beautiful area. I think California. Yeah, I agree. Hen and her egg laying prime can only lay 1 egg per day. Think how many chickens that is. Wow, only 1 egg a day.
No kidding.
I guess I don't know. Is that a lot or not a lot? I mean, because you got to have a few chickens. So
I don't know.
But if you did one a day, and that's 365 eggs in a year. So, oh my God, John Wick level 3. Yeah, all the John Wick I thought were pretty solid. Never seen John Wick, JTC. Yeah, John Wick is a pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Pretty cool movie, and it's kind of funny watching John Wick because there's been a lot of stuff about Keanu over the years, and he's pretty much a kind of a down to earth kind of guy, like that. So it's kind of different seeing him play this character that basically is violent, but in real life, how he's so peaceful and a lot of stuff. So it's kind of weird to kind of watch that all happen there.
Well, in some of the movies that has been before, well, besides the Matrix, like you don't think of like a kind of action fighting type dude like he is in John Wick. You know what I mean? Like
John Wick it's done pretty well. I mean, I don't know if it's been the same director for all of them, but that was like a magic formula for them with that movie. And Loma Prieta, 1989. Oh, okay, Loma Prieta. All right. Yeah, that was a crazy to see on there. And now work is done for the week. The sun is shining. Bring on the cold beer, boys. So Sam's already in the Friday happy hour. He's like 18 hours ahead of us in Australia, so he's ready to kick back and relax.
Jealous.
We'll be there soon enough. We'll be there. And, but we got we do got some time, don't we? 12 or 16, about 17 hours before we can do it. So, but it'll be nice when it hits. But see, Sam's going back to work Monday. We're off Monday. They don't have Martin Luther King Day in Australia. Not that I'm aware of, unless Sam tells me different. But yeah. A lot of movies leave me cold. I think it has to do with the way movies are made today, all digital. No one uses cellular film anymore. I can tell the difference. I don't know. I mean, I would say with like the John Wick, they do definitely do some stuff. That's the one thing I would say about like when Tarantino did the Grindhouse movies, he actually used actual stunt people. He didn't do it using the technology and stuff, which was kind of cool when he did it at that time. So he kind of went the old school way of how we did movies from back in the 70s and stuff.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, which give it a nice feel. Which that was on last couple months too, which is kind of crazy. You know, it's funny because now they put them in two separate movies between the Alien one and then the one with Kurt Russell. But back then we saw it all together. They had like an intermission in between, which was funny. So,
oh, right,
yeah. I remember seeing that at the theater. Yeah, so. But yeah, a lot of good stuff there for sure. Love from Dustle Dawn. I mean, Dustle Dawn, the arrival of Salma Hayek alone.
You're right.
It was just like. I'm not saying I like snakes, but if she wanted to have a snake, I'm okay with it.
Like, sure, that's fine. Fun too.
Yeah, Dustle Dawn was pretty good, and George Clooney usually delivers on the stuff that he's actually in as well. So, but tell you from that like stuff like Danny Trejo, he's popped up with some stuff. Danny Trejo actually runs restaurants and stuff now too that he has, which is pretty cool.
Really?
But you talk about a guy turning around his life because he was in prison for a number of years earlier on, and he was one of those guys that got a second chance and ended up getting into acting and does some pretty good performances and stuff that I've seen. Oh, don't forget we got Snowfall coming back soon too. Again, wait for Snowfall to drop back out there for the final season.
I was gonna say this is the final year, right?
Yeah. See what happens with Franklin and stuff. So that'll be. I think that might be. I don't know if it's gonna be summer or February. I think it might be earlier. I think it might be earlier. It used to when it first came out, it was summer, but then they moved it up. I think because they already showing the trail. They were showing the trailers and stuff for it. Yeah. And then The Last of Us starts this week. I think I'm going to try to start watching that on HBO because I like the game, and so HBO last Sunday night, The Last of Us begins. So that'll be kind of interesting to see how they do with that. But it's getting a lot of reviews that people are enjoying the pre stuff they're seeing. So
movie or series?
Series on HBO.
I thought they were doing.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be a movie. I didn't realize that was.
No, it's so it'll be in the 9 o'clock Sunday slot. So yeah.
Did you ever play that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't finish it yet though, but I've played that. So I got The Last of Us. Is there one or two versions now? Is there Last of Us and Last of Us 2?
Yeah, there's a second one now. Also.
I think I might have both of them on the PlayStation.
I'm not played the second one, but the first one. The first one's great.
Well, Alan
years ago.
Well, Alan always raved. That was like his favorite video game he thinks he's ever played was The Last of Us from a storytelling perspective.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. JT says, I like old school Tarantino, Coen Brothers style, but I never got into Marvel superhero movies that are all. I love the Marvel movies. I'm glad to see Angela Bassett. Although I haven't watched the movie yet, but guess what? Disney Plus will have Wakanda Forever coming up, I think, towards the end of the month. So I'll be watching it on there. But Angela Bassett was the first Marvel character portrayed to actually get a Golden Globe. So she won the Golden Globes this past week, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool there. So I like the comic movies and the whole Hollywood, like Scorsese and all of them are kind of like hating on them and stuff, but she was able to break through and get that. So makes me want to see the movie more now to see how she performed and stuff too. But Angela Bassett's always been a solid actress. So.
Oh, yeah. I heard it on the radio. I was like, wow. That was like the first Marvel character, whatever, movie or whatever to win that. I was like, she must have done a pretty damn good job.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because the Golden Globes were on Tuesday night, which was weird because I was flipping through and I saw part of it. I didn't end up watching the whole thing. I saw the one guy win for Elvis on there, but they used to be a Sunday night big thing. And I'm like, man, they must have really fall off. They kind of just throw them out there on a off night type thing. And I saw last year it canceled because of the whole diversity issue. So kind of weird, but they're trying to work their way back, I guess. I don't watch a lot of the award shows anymore. It's just kind of like it's commercials and just like fluff to me anymore.
Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, I don't even know what half of the things were nominated for anyway. So it's like, I've never seen it or I've heard of it and never watched it, whatever. It's like.
Yeah, I saw like Steven Spielberg won a few awards. I think it was for that movie he made about the boy that wanted to make a movie. Like that movie does not interest me at all. Like, just about this whole want to be a boy and be a director type thing. I mean, I know it's a Steven Spielberg story and how he wanted to tell his story. And it's just like, but critics will eat that up. And it's just like critics are like, oh, it's artsy and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah.
Like, this is not good. Like, maybe above my head, I'm not sure, but I'm like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, like The Rock. Take that Cabernet and stuff it up your Rudy Pooty. Like, get out of here. Nobody care about that movie. And then JT said he just cracked open his last Dino S'mores. Great beer. That reminds me, I will be releasing on the channel here probably Saturday my top beers of 2022. So it's been done. I got to finish the editing on the video. The podcast is also set for those of you that follow the podcast. If you want to actually hear me talk about the beers, you have to listen to the podcast. On the video, I'll actually share pictures of the beers. So I'm going to get that all set tomorrow, but I'll probably release that on Saturday. And if you follow me on Untapped, you can see information I have there as well. But these are my favorite beers that I've tasted over 2022, and these will be ranked either 4.5 or higher. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the list. Spoiler alert, might be something from Off Color on there, JT, since you mentioned the Dino S'mores. But that wouldn't be surprising, would it? What's the best way to DM you, Rod? If you DM me, well, you can shoot me an email at rodj@rodjbeerventures.com, or like on the YouTube About page, my email is there as well. And then I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. Obviously, on Instagram, you can message me because we're both on there as well, Roger. So just feel free. So whatever works. I got all the different things that are out there: Facebook, Twitter. I don't do TikTok. I just not getting into the TikTok. It's too much. It's too much. Like those little memes that the kids put out nowadays. You're doing too much. Too much. But yeah, just let me know. We can definitely connect. Awesome. But yeah, so 2022 would be interesting to see. 2023, God, man, 2023 out of 2022. See what we get this year. It's funny. I was watching the news earlier, not to get into the whole political type thing, but it's just like, really, like. So you had classified documents too? What the hell? Like if people just take, right? Like people, this is like Blockbuster not returning videos and not rewinding. It's like everybody has like fucking classified documents at their house apparently. So yeah,
it's thing.
Yeah, it's like come on, Joe.
I know.
Joe's gonna be like Shaggy. It wasn't me. I am actually sipping on from Flying Dog. It is the Operation Breakfast Stout that is Willet Bourbon Barrel Aged there, Brandon. So this is one that I picked up today that was just released and that you can actually maybe find out there, 10% ABV. So I've had a couple of these tonight with a little bit of rum as well. But this is very smooth, and I'll have a review coming on this soon.
Were those just sold in singles, or those like 4-pack? Or
I grabbed the 4-pack. The 4-pack was $16.99 for the 4-pack. Yeah.
That then.
No, it was good. I mean, they had a 6-pack for the tropical one I mentioned earlier. I may pick that up at some point, but it was $14.99 for that. Even that was 10% ABV too. Yeah. Not that you have to measure the price on ABVs, but when I saw Willetize on there, I love the Willet bourbon barrel aged type stuff. So I'm telling you, it's pretty smooth. So when I do the review, I'm going to probably like it. Probably like it. Yeah. it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Nice. Yeah. It's the spot. Oh, it's definitely completely different. Besides taking documents and refusing to turn them in. Didn't know he had them. It's just funny just because how it actually happens. And it's just like, oh, we got another person that has like paper out of the place where it's supposed to be. It's just like not returning your library book or whatever. And I would think in those roles, it's kind of common that might be people taking stuff and reviewing stuff because you got to cover stuff and you're not going to be in the office maybe looking at it. It's just they didn't check it back in. Like Blockbuster, you didn't be kind and rewind. You didn't bring it back. So I got to make fun of it because it's funny. But I mean, at this point, it's politics. So politics is politics.
Like nothing surprising. Yeah.
Nothing surprising me anymore. I say that except that guy Santos. That guy Santos, I don't get him. He said on the thing earlier today, I've been honest my whole life. Like, dude, everything you said you did was a lie.
What do you
I mean, I'm not saying Republican or Democrat or anything. I'm just saying everything you said was a lie. These companies are saying you never worked for them. Nobody knows where this money came from. But you're saying you did everything was honest. I'm just saying it's crazy, So I don't know anymore. Trying to understand the world. Trying to understand the world anymore is just like, fuck. I just want to drink my beer and be in my little cabin and just chill.
don't go anywhere.
Yeah, just don't fuck up my beer and I'll be happy.
Right.
Although they are messing with grain and stuff like that and aluminum and things, so they are messing with the price of beer, but we will try to definitely survive for sure. It is. You're right, JT. It is unfortunate. They're all I wouldn't even say, it's just both sides have their strategies, and it's too much of not cooperating anymore. That's the big issue. Like, people need to cooperate. Like, we don't want people in there sitting and digging themselves in on stuff. Like, get to work and get shit done and get shit fixed. So
it's all become about winning. Like sports.
Well, that's the thing. Like, McCarthy's all like, he needs Santos, because if he loses Santos is in a Democratic district, he may lose that seat. But it's just like, I'm happy to see some of the Republicans coming out, like calling him on, like, no, he needs to go or something needs to be done. So I'm happy to see that's actually taking place. But it's just anymore, it's just like, it's so dug in from side to side. It's just like, yeah, I mean, you have parties that have their different beliefs on stuff, but there was also a time when everybody worked together for common goal too.
Right.
Yeah. You would have a president give a speech and both sides could stand up and applaud. Nowadays, it's like, I'm not going to applaud because they're applauding. Yeah. So it just gets tiresome. And I think a lot of people that watch these people feel the same way, where it's tiresome watching these politicians up there. So cheers, Tex. Yeah, right. It's crazy. It's just funny how crazy things are right now. And I'll say it, Republicans lie all the time. Such rated the old damn lie is drowned out by volume. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get into a whole side versus side, but I definitely think that, some things present themselves definitely more different. It's just like, when you see stuff that's kind of stupid, you're like, what the hell is going on out here? It's like Vince Lombardi. What the hell is going on out there? Well, we'll see what happens. But I mean, the Dems have issues too on some of their stuff as well, as far as some of the things they may run into. I thought both parties would actually hit an implosion point at some point between the progressive and the moderates on the Democratic side and the far right and moderates on the conservative side. So we're just starting 2022. It'll be interesting to see. Kevin McCarthy definitely, I think, I would say, weakened his position as a House Speaker for all he had to give up for the fringe. It'll be a crazy 2 years, I think. So we'll see what happens. Grab. Nobody's tackling, right? Yeah, we all learned that in football. You got to grab. You got to tackle. You got to get in there, lock hands. Lock the fingers or whatever. You just can't grab at a person. And yeah, nobody's tackling anymore. So kind of crazy there. But c'est la vie is where we're at right now. Like I said, don't mess with the beer. Don't mess with the spirits. Don't mess with the wine. Get the egg price down, and we'll all be happy.
Yeah, they'll be all good. That's right. Yeah.
I have to look at the egg prices when I go back to the store. Like $9. $9.
At some point this weekend, I'm like, I'm gonna have to look because we need eggs. I'm like,
I'm gonna be just. I'll be scratching my neck like Dave Chappelle, and they're like, "Y'all need no $4 eggs."
I'm like, I don't need the eggs. I just buy the egg. What's the no yolk or whatever?
Yeah.
The carton or whatever. Like
I don't even need the egg. Can I get the shell? I know it's crunchy. I know, but it's still got protein. Jeez, prices are crazy. That's what we need to get down, is the fucking cost of shit for sure. So get this inflation under control. That's what I deal with. And the job that I do is kind of like talking with advisors on getting, here's where we can do this or that. But it's just like, yeah, it could, It costs what it costs. So
Right.
kind of put in that predicament. Trez right, tired of both sides. The dogs acting like preschool kids. So it is, and it's kind of like
correct.
You watch that stuff, and it's kind of like I feel like our generation, and I say like me, you, Trez, JT, some of the other guys that are like grew up during times of freaking grammar, schoolhouse rock, and how to make a bill. We know more about making a bill than the people actually in office now. We can go back and sing the whole cartoon about this is a bill. I'm just a bill type thing, and know more than the people actually there. It's just like roll up your sleeves, get to work, get the shit done. It's kind of like. Yeah. So anyway, didn't want to get on the political tangent. Just trying to keep it nice and easy. Or toss one back Thursday, but just one of those current topics that are out there. So we talk the current stuff as it's actually happening. Again, I'm still shocked about Lisa Marie Presley dying. I did not know that actually happened out there.
You're talking about I think they were there for him to win that.
That's what I said. That's what I said earlier. I thought she was there Monday or Tuesday night for the Golden Globes.
Yeah, I think she was there.
And I'm like, wow, that is crazy. Because she couldn't have been. Yeah, Lisa Marie Presley has died. I was thinking she couldn't have been that old, 54. Gosh, she will be what I'll be next year. Wow,
that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Cardiac arrest, I think. Is that not what it was?
Says she was rushed to the hospital on cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
She basically had what Hamlin had from a cardiac arrest type thing, probably. Not that it was the same type of thing, but it was a cardiac arrest that Hamlin had, which is great for Hamlin. He's actually back home now and with the family and stuff. And I don't know if he'll ever play football again, but he's able to get back home. He's able to move all his ligaments. He's able to start the recovery type thing. And that in itself is a win. And to the Bills, a class act in that they honored his contract because he had stuff that were incentives. They went ahead and guaranteed it out with him and the NFLP Association that they actually were able to cover his contract for stuff too, which is good. So, I don't watch the NFL as much anymore, but I give them props when they do the right stuff. And eventually, maybe one day I'll come back to the NFL, but it's good to see them doing the right thing for sure.
Right.
Yeah. See, Sammy JT, I'm sick and tired of their asses. Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. It's like one side tries to govern, even want to ham-fist, the other side doesn't care and won't even try to compromise and get face on me. We're tired of both sides. Do it, argue. Yeah, I agree as well. So yeah. He started it. Look at me acting like a snitch in first grade.
It's his fault. Yeah.
It's just like it's at a point. And it's just like, yeah, we could say this or we could say that. Everything. Also, we could say at a certain point, okay, enough is enough. Fucking fix it. Just let's get to work and start doing shit the way it needs to get done. So, no man, Lisa Marie. Inherited heart disease from her dad and grandmother. Hamlin's heart attack was caused by. Well, they were both cardiac arrest. Is how the doctors actually looked at it. So yeah. They said my bad. Yeah. So cardiac arrest is what they had for her and for him, but she may have inherited from her dad as well too. So, just sad to see. Like I said, 54. So again, another point. No day is a given day. Do what you want to do now. Yeah, do what you can now for things you want to get done. Don't wait. Don't think I can just call someone tomorrow or next week or something like that and everything if you can do it now. So it's just one of those things of life you got to point out.
It's one of those things like hard to balance. You think always there's tomorrow, but you never know. Like you can't go out and live like there's not going to be tomorrow because tomorrow may come, but.
Yeah, people
come and it's like you should have lived like there was no tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like it's just a.
There's individuals that go to sleep tonight that won't wake up.
Right.
So anytime you wake up, you're winning. So much is put on us to try to drive to a certain level that it's just like we don't get sometimes a chance to absorb what we already have, and you got to take time to absorb what you have and give thanks for that as well. So. I don't want to go into sermon mode or anything like that. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying, make sure you enjoy what you have right now. Make sure you tell the people you enjoy what you have. Make sure you tell them you enjoy them, and to go about your merry life, so to speak.
Agreed.
Every day on this side of the grass is a good day. I agree, JT, every day. And shit runs my family too. My dad has had his brother down before 6. Wow. So I know for you, for instance, you might have that, as a concern there. So appreciate you all the time, JT. Just going to put that out there right now. Appreciate you all the time, and always love talking with you and stuff. So keep doing what you're doing. So true, Rod. Now you're preaching, right? Yeah. Trying not to preach. Trying not to preach.
Put your hand up too.
But if I get some of those Creflo dollars, I'll be all right. Get some of the Joel Osteen dollars coming in.
Yeah, right.
Indeed. Oh man, but yeah, you gotta enjoy life. You gotta enjoy it, and that's one of the cool things I will say about me going down last week to the conference I went to is seeing people I haven't seen for numerous years, and there was a kind of a nice camaraderie and a nice chance to actually see people and enjoy people and be around people that you didn't have because people were kind of boxed in on certain things, or you were in different spots and everybody's fully remote. As much as I love being fully remote, it was nice to actually see people and see some of the people there, and you're able to get caught up on stuff and just to see smiles on people's faces and all that kind of stuff. And you get the hugs and all that kind of stuff that happens. And it's just like, it's great, and that's, as humans were wired to actually enjoy that kind of stuff. So, it was nice.
You kind of forget those, you kind of forget that when you're actually.
JT said that catchy hashtag no homo. No. Respect, brother, respect. That's awesome. How do you check that code? 7 good stuff, bro. I'm all that shit. Natural good shit indeed. Yeah, definitely. And I'm going to get a checkup on Monday. Our company has a thing where they give us an amount if we get like regular checkups each year. And even for that, even though I'm getting kind of some dollars off of that, it's still good just to see where you're at and stuff. And health is not a thing that, you should neglect. It's funny. The wife will tell me, she's like, when I get sick, I never really do anything. I'm like, well, I can, I feel like I'm from that generation where it's like, oh, I can walk it off. I can do this or do that and everything like that. And it should be like, you actually have health insurance and you don't want to use it. And she's like, how many people don't have health insurance that can't even use it, that want to use it? And it's just like, yeah, I mean, you're making sense. So it's kind of like, yeah. Look at you showing off being a smarter one. So it's like when you actually have the ability to do that stuff, make sure you're good to go because the loved ones want to keep you around as well. So you have that ability to do that kind of stuff. So feels like nobody wants to go in and get that kind of checkup type thing, especially as we get older. It's kind of like they're like, oh, you got to probably cut down on this or cut down on that. It's like, oh, you're ruining me, doc. You're ruining me. But it's for your own good on some stuff like that and everything. In moderation. One of the topics I was going to talk about earlier, but we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but it was like the whole dry January type thing. It's just like people are doing dry January. And I'm just like, how much alcohol do you have to drink to think you need a month off? Moderation. Just moderate it during the course of the year. I mean, take a whole month off. Yeah. Like, how hammered are you getting? You need 31 days of clean sobriety. Right. Yeah. So, and it's funny because I do the beer channel and stuff like that, and we do the different things where we're drinking, but it's not like I drink like every day. It's like I know to have the moderation type thing.
Right.
Make sure you take care of your body. Make sure you're working out. You're getting a balance. You're taking at least a walk or something to kind of keep everything flowing. But it's funny when I think of dry January, I'm just like, how shit-faced are people getting? They need a whole month off.
Like, where did that even start at anyway? Like, why?
Yeah.
Christmas, I don't understand.
I'm thinking it was probably some type of market employee started by some company or something. But I'm like, you should not be getting that hammer where you need a whole month off. But make sure you have moderation. Make sure you know your body and know what you can do and can't do.
I would like to know like the amount of alcohol that's drank for the people that are doing dry January.
Yeah.
As soon as it hits February 1, like, are they just getting blitzed?
They're getting hammered. You see them out there. Oh, dry January's over. Like,
blitzed. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy.
Super. Like, what are you doing?
So talk about, yeah, I mean, and I hear you there, and I know we've talked before there too, JT. So I would definitely be singing the praises of it as well, because it affects lives and stuff. And like, I've had people that think that like Obamacare was this or that or that, say because it doesn't affect you. I know people that benefited from having Obamacare, how it saved their lives, or how it allowed them to get health care they weren't able to get before. It all depends on situations. Just because it doesn't fit you doesn't mean it doesn't help somebody else.
Right.
Yeah. And people miss that there. Here's JT. Life, so that's the benefit for me. Whether pros would rather see me dead than pay for anything. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, I did post a thing on Facebook, and JT, you may have seen it. Trez, you may have seen it as well. Todd, you're on Facebook with me, but there was a thing that one of the Congress people posted yesterday. Like, they were sitting there talking about a bill for what women wear in Congress. I'm like, what? Is it like the Republican ban now? Like, it's like basically like a Taliban or the Republican. Like, seriously, I'm like, Jim Jordan doesn't even wear a suit jacket half the time because he's not comfortable in a suit jacket. So you're going to criticize women on what they wear? It's just like,
you're right.
There's many things to fix in government. That's not one of them. So just go about the work and get it done. It's just crazy with stuff that you see out there. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, I can never be one, I'm not narcissistic enough to be a politician, but two, I'd be bitching about people like too crazy. I couldn't be on any committee or politics. It'd just be like, yeah, it just, I'd be like that one guy that wanted to strangle Matt Gaetz or whatever, like the whole back. That's what I like about watching the Philippine politics. I don't know if you watch Filipinos when they do their session stuff. Like, they seriously throw punches and go after people in there.
I feel like that's a good thing. Like, just go at it. Like,
just get it out the system. They're like, get it out of your system. Yeah. I've seen dudes like kick, punch, all kinds, jump over, like from their stand over to somewhere else to tackle somebody. It's just like, they're getting it out of their system. So, I mean, not this fake smile type bullshit. Just I'm going to throw down right now, like center court. Let's go. Yeah, well, Sarah Sanders is a governor, so she doesn't have to deal with the whole congressional type thing. But I did not see what she was wearing, but she actually just had something out there where they marked that they were not allowing the Latinx to be on their any type of state type thing anymore, which I don't know why you're even worried about that. You're the governor of Arkansas. I'm sure you got other things that are more important than dealing with that. But again, people elect people to do these things, and it is what it is. And when you elect someone, you got to deal with the consequences. So,
right.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Although it is kind of funny, like we've had some of this bad weather. I remember years ago, we'd have some of the bad weather take place, and people would be like, well, they're getting tornadoes because of the gay people, or they're getting it because of this or that. You're not hearing it anymore when it's hitting the South. Like, where are those people saying it's because of that now? Like, those are the same people saying that's why Maryland or New Jersey was getting right. Yeah. So
where are they at now?
They're not slinging any more mud, are they? Yeah, because now they're getting it. It's just people tire me out. People tire me out most of the time. It's just like, I feel like as I've gotten older, and my wife's like, you're getting that angry, that grumpy old man type stage, whatever. Like, my tolerance has just gotten lower and lower with people. Like, it's just like, why am I still why are you doing that? Like, you know, it's just like,
yeah, maybe. What's your point?
yeah. And now with the younger generations, it's all like you got to be all careful because of feelings and stuff. I love watching the Gen X videos like on Facebook and TikTok. It's just like Gen X, we didn't give a fuck. We dealt with it. Like when I watched one earlier, they're like, Gen X, we didn't have a thing called basically mental illness. We just dealt with it. You know, it's like we didn't have a mental illness out. You know, we learned to deal with whatever thing that we had going on and we moved forward type thing. So I don't know. It's just like, I don't know if society's getting soft or what, but it's just so many different things we need to work on.
It's all about who can make money and profit off. And then it becomes sort of a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, people always try to profit off of stuff.
Well, no, I know. Like, I feel like it's even more, tenfold of what it used to be.
JT said, at least we're free, right? Well, to a point. Apparently not. One of my business partners told me, like, basically there were, I forgot what state it was in, but police were like arresting people and drawing their guns on people because they said they were like, had a warrant out for them. The warrant was because they were saying someone said they voted more than one time. Like, at what point of voting, if there was an irregularity that you voted twice or you shouldn't have voted at some precinct, that a cop should have a gun pulled on you? That just makes no sense whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like, it's almost like I'm blinded now by some of this stuff because I work remote and I'm at home most of the time. I don't have to go out and deal with people, but it's just like you see stuff out there dealing with people, and it's just like, where is society going at this point? People just need to talk more, smile more, communicate more. And that's how it was for years and years and years. And we went through society. Now, everything wasn't perfect. We had issues. We all know that. But for the most part, having an open line of communication made things better. Nowadays, you don't even have that sometimes. So, I don't know.
Crazy world.
I'm just a guy drinking bourbon barrel-aged stouts and rum. This is just my thoughts. I'll tell you one thing. I'm watching in the background the Lakers and the Mavericks. And the Lakers are just terrible. They're terrible.
Yeah, they're bad.
And I used to be a Lakers fan back in the 80s, coming out of the 70s. Magic Johnson, Jamal Wilkes, Norm Nixon, James Worthy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kurt Rambis. I was a big Lakers fan. I feel like they're just kind of ruining the game now with the whole LeBron thing. They're just having LeBron chase Kareem's numbers. They're not going to be any good from it. And it's just like, Kareem was competitive to the end. Now you're just having somebody basically go after him to get the number, and you're not competitive. I just feel like it's such a waste of the game. I think it's like a blemish on the game. That's my opinion on it.
No, I agree.
Yeah. So the record books say, well, LeBron had this amount of points or whatever like that. LeBron was like, what, 3 and like 8 in championships or something like that, or whatever the number is. Like,
probably, yeah.
I think he has 3 rings, maybe like 3 and 8, 3 and 9, 3 and 7, something. And it's like, and everybody's like, he's the GOAT. Like, he is not the GOAT. I'm sorry. In my book, he is not the GOAT. He's not. He's just not. He's not. If you're a LeBron fan, sorry. He's not the greatest NBA player in my mind,
He's the greatest winner of the NBA.
Magic went to the championship 10 times. No. Was it 8 times in the 80s? And he won 5 championships.
Right.
Yeah, take that percentage versus LeBron's. You look at, and people always say, like, if you're looking at number of championships, how do you count out Bill Russell? I mean, Bill Russell was dominant, not only as a player where he won like 10 or 11, but he also won as a coach. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like, LeBron's got the size on it, but he's just not the GOAT to me. He's not the GOAT.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. I think if you put him in a power forward position, I'm sorry, if you put him in a power forward position and you had him back in the 80s, early 80s against Larry Bird, I don't know. I think Bird may shoot the lights out against him. Like Bird was always that quiet guy that would talk shit. Like, people didn't know Larry Bird talked shit, but he talked shit. When you look at some of the players and some of the old video stuff, he talked shit.
Oh yeah.
And he would come out and he would back it up. He would back, like, LeBron will do stuff. He can't drive to a pull for a 3. And occasionally he'll hit it, but you look at his numbers, he's probably like 3 out of like 10 or 11 for shooting there. Larry Bird would drill it. Larry Bird would knock it down.
Yeah,
you know, and it was just like cool was the other side of the pillow. I mean, I just
mentioned LeBron take like 5 or 6 steps.
Yeah. There's no travel anymore now. Yeah. So it's like, you know, it's a totally different game. And LeBron in the 80s, I'm sorry, y'all. LeBron in the 80s, him looking for the foul calls, he wasn't getting them. You would come down in the middle like that against Bill Laimbeer, forget about it. Your clock is cleared. Your clock is cleared. You know, you want the foul, he'll give you the foul. You're going to earn it, and you're going to feel it. Right. And it's like there was no like this what it is nowadays. It's just, you know, that's just me though.
No, I agree. I agree.
But yeah. But watch.
When he was winning, you know, going to the game or series, like no.
But I'll tell you right now, though, if you are watching the NBA, the person to watch, I'm telling you, and you probably know this, Todd, but this is a bad man, and over the years, you're going to see him putting up some crazy shit. Is John Morant?
Oh yeah,
John Morant is the freaking real deal. Watched him posterize a guy again last night that he posterized like last season. Like, God, that guy has to fucking hate that just happened. Like, he posterized him on one side of the court last year, and he posterized him on this side of the court this year. And they were interviewing John Morant, and John Morant said, I guess he didn't get the memo. Literally, he said that on ESPN. I was like, oh, this guy is a baller.
Stay tuned to next year. See what happens.
Stay tuned. Yeah, I mean,
part 3.
Yeah, you know, he's definitely a baller. And then what's come up in Cleveland now? That came from Utah. The guard up there that's got them rolling. Can't remember his name now.
Played at U of L. Played at Louisville.
Yeah. I can't remember his name right now though.
Gosh, what the hell is this? I know you're talking about it. I can't think of it either.
Let's see it here. Begins with a D, I know. Donovan Mitchell. Dude's a beast.
Yeah, Mitchell.
Dude is a beast. Yeah, he's put up some crazy. Like, I think he went for 71 the other night or whatever. Yeah, he's a beast as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he's crazy.
But I think that people look at LeBron because of his size and stuff like that, everything. Which he has the size, he's dribbling ability, all that kind of stuff. But he's not in the GOAT category for me. He's not. What's up, John? Cheers, John. John's drinking a Abita French toast stout he picked up today. I haven't had an Abita beer in a while. Very nice.
Neither.
If you haven't checked out John, check him out. Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed. John does not only beer, he also does whiskey. I think he does wine. He also does coffee as well. So a lot of good drink categories. And he's actually not too far from Todd down there over in the Louisville area as well. But great stuff that he's actually putting out. But looking at the clock, we are at 11:42. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Thanks for everybody tuned in. Great time tonight. Great having Eric on from Music Whiskey.
Awesome.
And next week we'll be back again. And I mentioned we'll have a new person that will actually be joining us, and it'll be an every other week type thing for that person there because of their schedule. But it'll be great. And that won't start until February 2nd. But, you know, look forward to that as well. And that'll give us another point of view to actually have her to channel as I look to build out some other stuff for 2023.
Nice.
But that being said, I guess we're going to wrap up. Unless you got anything else you want to add there, Todd?
No. Good to be back.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely great to be back. And first show for 2023. Looking forward to a great year here. And then sharing some more great beers. Make sure you guys check out that I will be releasing my top beers of 2022 by this Saturday. Just some of the great beers I've had. And let me know on that if you do watch what beers you may have had. Maybe I missed a few, or maybe there's a few that I'll mention that you actually enjoy as well. I'd love to get your guys' feedback there too. That being said, we're going to go ahead and get signed off and look forward to catching up with you guys soon. You guys have a great one, and catch you next week. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.